game that reflects life. It teaches toughness, hard work, and determination. We've needed all these traits the past 18 months. And now, a day to celebrate one of the events that still brings our community together. High school football. 6 teams, 3 games, 1 goal. Win. A clash of Clay County rivals. The Orange Park Raiders look to kick off their return to prominence against a familiar opponent, the Oakleaf Knights. The college football stars of tomorrow shine bright in a River City Rumble on the gridiron. Channel 4, the local station, and High School 912 present the W.W. Gay Mechanical Contractor Bolles City Showcase.
Now you're looking from field level at Skinner Barco Stadium for the final game of the W.W. Gay Bolles City Showcase, an all-Clay County affair between the Orange Park Raiders and the Knights of Oakleaf. A fitting way to wrap up our 3 games. Here's what's happened so far in the Bolles City Showcase. A 42-0 win by Bolles over West Nassau to kick off the event. Cade Frew running for 172 yards last night. And then earlier today, you just saw it here on Channel 4, Creekside knocking off Ribault 16-7. An excellent defensive performance by the Knights and a couple of key plays on offense, leading Oakleaf to the victory. And now here we are, the all-Clay County affair between Oakleaf and Orange Park. Welcome in here to the booth. Former Jaguar Joe Zelenka here with me. And Joe, it's been quite a start to the WWGA Bolles City Showcase. And this is a game with a lot of intrigue and a lot of attention paid to this one in Clay County.
There has to be. These schools are only a few miles apart. These guys have grown up with each other. They played against each other, you know, in the YMCA and local rec leagues. This is a grudge match.
It is, and it's interesting. Again, you mentioned 10 miles apart, one of only 7 in the area. Does this look like a grudge match? A couple of coaches, Frank Garris and Tom Mcpherson, facing off. This was when the event was announced earlier this summer, and those 2 guys having a good time with it. A couple of good personalities and a couple of very good football coaches.
2 fantastic personalities, 2 really good football coaches who have really good football teams. This is going to be a great game.
All right, we'll have more on this one as we get ready for kickoff. Orange Park against Oakleaf. It's coming up on the WW Gay Mechanical Contractor Bolles City Showcase on Channel 4. Back here at the Bolles School as we get set for kickoff, the final game of a big day of high school football. 2 big days, as a matter of fact. It started last night with the Bolles Bulldogs and that man Cade Frew turning in a performance that has opened eyes around the state. 10 carries, 172 yards, and 4 touchdowns as one of the best running backs in the state of Florida put his stamp on the opening weekend.
You know, Cole, that's more than 10 yards per carry. That's pretty good. I did math really fast in my head there. The guy put on a show last night. It was fun to watch. Big win by Bolles. You know, West Nassau played well. It was a tough game. They played well.
Bolles certainly with a lot of expectations this year, and earlier today, a couple of teams hoping to take the next step went at it, and it was Creekside getting a big play by Vince Abrevado on the safety there, and then Preston Strope ran for over 100 yards and a touchdown. A 16-7 Creekside victory. I think both teams will have plenty to build on from this, but certainly for the Knights, a chance to start the season with a victory.
You know, big plays on both sides. Both teams played excellent defense, which in this part of the season, that's important. You don't want to be giving up big plays. It was a defensive slugfest. Fun to watch. Hopefully you guys tuned in. But we got another one coming up right now, Cole, that is just going to be as good.
Well, we are certainly expecting a good one between a couple of teams that are very familiar with one another. When you're talking about teams in Clay County, there are only 7 high schools in the county, and these are 2 of them, Orange Park and Oakleaf, and it has developed into quite a rivalry, particularly if you ask the Orange Park players about this rivalry. They'll say, yeah, for sure, this is a big rivalry. It's a big game we want to win. We want to prove ourselves. We want to show that we're the kings of Clay County. But If you ask the folks on the other side of the field, Oakleaf looks more to Bartram Trail as a rival, St. Johns County, because Bartram keeps beating Oakleaf in key games. So Frank Garris's team, yes, this is an important game, but they have a different take on this one. This is a very confident Oakleaf team as well. They expect to come in here and be able to put on a show.
They really do. They're high-powered offense. They've got good defensive players. But you know what? They're not looking past Orange Park, but they have focused their eyes on that school in St. Johns County, coached by Darryl Sutherland. Those Bartram Bears, they want to knock them off because that is the team that is keeping, Oakleaf from taking that next step in their program.
And you see Tom Mcpherson there, who won his 100th game as a high school coach last year. And now for the coin toss, Orange Park coming off a 4-6 season. They lost their first 5 and then started getting things in the right direction. 1-4 before losing in the playoffs at Menendez. And you've got Oakleaf winning the toss.
Orange Park won the toss. Chose receipt.
All right, there you go. Usually you see it defer to the second half, but instead, Orange Park wants the ball first, and they have some veterans on their team, and they are certainly led by the offensive line as well. We'll be keeping a close eye on how the Raiders' offensive line can perform. Roderick Kearney, number 77, is one to watch for Tom McPherson's team. He's being recruited by everybody from Florida State to Miami and so on. A junior, but he is a good one at left tackle.
6'4", 270, can move his feet. The kid can play football. It is going to be fun to watch this big offensive line for Orange Park try to move this Oakleaf defense. And Coach McPherson loves these offensive linemen. And as a coach, you should, because offensive linemen, they're hard-working, they're underappreciated, they come to work every day, they always put the team first. I love offensive linemen. And aside from that, they love to eat. And I like to eat. Cole, you like to eat. I think we should go find some offensive linemen and hang out with them. My favorite players when I was playing were offensive linemen.
Yeah, the only downside to eating with an offensive lineman, you might not get seconds.
No, you probably don't. But that's okay, because you eat big portions.
So here we go. Oakleaf ranked number 9 in the initial News 4 Jack Super 10 poll. Orange Park trying to make a statement in the opener here against the Knights. JoJo Restall back deep, and it is the quarterback Drew Ammon who will kick it off for Oakleaf, and it's all the way through the end zone. And it will be a touchback, and Orange Park will take over. And they have some players who have played a lot of football together. There's Tavion Wilkerson, the quarterback, number 4. Second leading rusher on the team a year ago. Completed 46% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. But as a senior, he's really trying to take his game to the next level. We'll be keeping a close eye on how he performs. And this offense is going to be really powered by JoJo Restall, the running back, who averaged over 9 yards per carry a season ago. And Orange Park opens in the pistol formation. And they'll throw it on first down. Swing it out to the far side. Catch is made by Nolan Chambers, and Chambers tiptoes down the far sideline for a first down. Let's meet the starting lineup for the Raiders.
Tavion Wilkerson, quarterback.
Roger Kearney, offensive tackle.
Louis Panella, offensive guard.
Braylon Hawkins, guard.
Ian Huffager, offensive tackle.
Giovanni Fallon, running back. JoJo Restall, running back.
Ryan Green, wide receiver.
Nolan Chambers, wide receiver.
Cam Griffith, receiver.
Malik Carter, athlete.
Malik Carter, simply an athlete.
Did you see that? I mean, that's one of those things that I would love to say.
And there is Malik Carter, off and running as an athlete, tracked down in Oakleaf territory. Big run by the Raiders. Let's meet the starters from Oakleaf.
Oscar Bailey, defensive end. Michael Caldwell, defensive line.
Akeem Neal, defensive line.
Braden Cole, defensive end.
Keyshawn Riley, linebacker.
Jaden Mateo, linebacker.
Dakota Brown, cornerback.
James Kitchen, cornerback.
Drake Stubbs, DB. Dylan Stubbs, safety.
Corey Washington, strong safety.
Well, it's been a fast start for Orange Park, and now here's JoJo Restall running wide, getting to the edge, and the speedy running back Gets a block, but a penalty marker is down as he fights his way forward for a gain of about 7, but I think this one is coming back on a holding call.
I think it is, Cole. It's early, but I like what Coach Mcpherson's doing for Orange Park. He's taken Oakleaf out of their game. Oakleaf has 2. Let's listen to the call here.
Run. Eagle block in the back. Offense, number 11. Force for a slide to foul. Still first down.
What Coach McPherson's doing here, he's taking the ball and trying to beat Oakleaf on the edges. Oakleaf has 2 monsters in the middle, 290, 330, Neal, Caldwell. You don't want to run into those guys. You're not going anywhere. So why not run on the outside, open the game up, and see what can happen. I like how they're starting here. Orange Park is coming out swinging in this big rivalry.
They apply the penalty from the spot of the foul, so it's a 1st and 18. And Wilkerson drops the ball on the exchange, and now we'll have to eat it back at the 50-yard line. So after some good forward progress, Orange Park heading in the wrong direction now the last couple of snaps. Take another look.
You can't do anything unless you get the center quarterback exchange. Right here, just slips right through the hands of Wilkerson. This is something that is going to be corrected as the game goes on. He just took his eyes off it right at that last second.
We've talked about early game jitters this first game for all these teams. And although we've had 3 games, now this is the 3rd in the WWGA Old City Showcase, still first game for Orange Park, first game for Oakleaf. So wouldn't be at all surprised to see more of that here in the first quarter. Restall can't find any running room up the middle.
There is no room up the middle, Cole. Neal, Caldwell, that's a ton of man meat up there. 310 pounds between the 2 of them. Oh, my gosh. You're not moving things around.
So after the 32-yard run by Malik Carter, hasn't been much action for Orange Park, and now they face 3rd and 28 from the 49-yard line. Wilkerson off play action. Pressure comes, and he goes down back at the 40-yard line. Keyshawn Riley came in from his middle linebacker spot, came off the edge, and records the sack.
Here we go. Keyshawn Riley, little blitz off the end, uses his hands, creates separation. As a defensive player, that's what you want to do. You want to get separation. You want to get to an edge. Great play. Riley, sack, tackle for loss. Proud of you, babe.
They flipped the tackles there. Roderick Koenig, who we talked about,
defense,
on the right
11.
side.
10 yards from the previous spot, still 3rd down.
How about that? So another opportunity for Orange Park. But they flipped the tackles. You had Ian Huffaker on the left side for that snap. So it looks like they may be going field and boundary here with the tackles for Orange Park. So keep an eye on 74, Ian Huffaker, and 77 is the top prospect, Roderick Koenig. So from 3rd and 28 to 3rd and 18 at the 39-yard line.
There's always something about the calls that come in from the sidelines that intrigue me.
See some of the schools that have already offered Kearney. Likely to get plenty more as his junior season continues. This one deep for Brian Green, but too deep. He was well covered on the play by Jaden Stokes. So 4th down, and the punting team, will they come out, or will Tom McPherson go for it here from the 39-yard line?
It's a tough place, Cole. It's one of those decisions. If you've got good operation, you definitely want to try to pin them deep, make Oakleaf go the long field. But again, we saw some fakes in some previous games.
Now remember, when you have a quarterback as the punter, as Orange Park does with Wilkerson, you never know. He will punt it away. Good hang time on this punt. And a good bounce for Orange Park. Bounces inside the 5, touched up right there. And so it'll be the long field for Oakleaf from the 5-yard line with 8:49 to play in the first quarter. Pretty good possession. As you see, Oakleaf, they're replacing some key players. Starting quarterback, starting running back. The quarterback, Walter Simmons, now at East Carolina. Trying to replace 2 key receivers and multiple offensive line starters, and basically every starter on defense, by the way.
Everybody on defense.
They lost 11 starters on defense. from a year ago. So here's Drew Ammon, who backed up Walter Simmons a year ago, threw just 10 passes, and he's taking over as the quarterback here, and he'll hand it off, and it's Devin Outlaw up the middle, and Outlaw is off to the races. Here he goes, 95 yards for the touchdown. One play, and Oakleaf is on top.
That is how you script it. I think when we talked to him out at Oakleaf, that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to show out what a play, what a run, hard running, great blocking up front by this Oakleaf offensive line. Impressive way to start. Let's take a look at the replay. Here we go, a little handoff, and Devin Outlaw, great name for a running back, and he is broken loose. The Outlaw is free, and run, baby, run. Look at him go. Nobody's catching him. Nobody's even in the picture. It's all you, Devin. Enjoy your moment.
When we talked to him last week in practice, I said, what's your perfect scenario to start the game? And he said, I'm looking to break out into the open. And that's exactly what happened.
Exactly what he did.
So the extra point by Ammon, up and through with 8:32 to play in the first quarter. Oakleaf has struck first. The Knights on a 95-yard run by Devin Outlaw, running behind Gary and Ray, the center, and the guards, Krishawn Sanders and Wyatt Nordine. A lot of room early, and then a good block by Taylor Bradshaw. And there he goes.
Look at that hole, Cole.
Outlaw making an early statement for the Knights.
You know what I love about that play is you had Taylor Bradshaw, a wide receiver, wasn't going to give up on the play. He comes in, he gets a little slight crackback block, beautiful. Everybody's trying to play together as a team, and it takes 11 guys to win, takes 11 guys to score. Great job by Oakleaf playing as a team, scoring a touchdown.
Well, that didn't take long.
No, it didn't, and it was fun to watch.
Outlaw with 95 yards. We mentioned that we have some outstanding running backs playing in these 3 games. We saw Cade Frew have the big game. Preston Strope had a 100-yard game for Creekside earlier today. Outlaw is closing in on 100 after just 1 carry.
Hey, if you're going to do it, why not just do it all at once?
It's efficiency, Joe.
Absolutely.
Number 17, Drew Ammon.
Cole, do both teams have their quarterbacks kicking the ball?
Yeah.
I like
this.
this.
You have punting for Orange Park and kicking. And an onside kick.
Oh, wow.
And it is recovered by Oakleaf. He won't be able to move it forward, but he did recover it. There is a flag on the play. We'll keep an eye out. Watch Drew Ammon, who kicked the onside kick. He threw a block as he got to about the 10-yard mark. Let's see what the flag is all about. James Dearman is our referee.
Offsides, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Oh, boy.
That hurts after a big play. Kind of takes a little bit of air out of the momentum they had going. You know, Drew Ammon, I don't know if you know this, Cole, he plays soccer too. He plays the other version, the European football. He plays it. And that's probably why he's able to control the kick like that. That's a skillful thing. I play with a lot of guys in the NFL that had a hard time doing that. And definitely, I would have never seen Scobie throwing a block like that.
No.
He would have said he would, but when it came down to it, he wasn't going to throw his face in there.
We saw maybe 2 good tackles from Scobie that I can recall.
Scobie wasn't afraid to make a game-saving tackle, but as far as sticking his face in a beehive like that against one of those big guys in front, it ain't going to happen.
And cue the Scobie text message in 3, 2, 1.
And there it is. Josh, I love you, babe.
So the touchback, as Ammon just booms it deep this time, and Frank Garris's team that close to having a touchdown and possession. Instead, we'll come back out on defense for the second time. And the Devin Outlaw 95-yard run has the Oakleaf sideline still buzzing a bit.
You know, that gets your defense going when you put on a play like that. It gets your defense excited. It gets your whole sidelines excited.
See how Orange Park responds here. Last year, they won lost their first 5 games, then won 4 in a row, and beat Citrus in the playoffs. This young team coming along, as that one is incomplete, intended for Brian Green. Tavion Wilkerson, you see the numbers from last season. A big growth season for him as a junior, and this year Tom Mcpherson very confident in Wilkerson, in JoJo Restall, and in his receivers, Malik Carter, Cam Griffith, Nolan Chambers, Brian Green. Really likes the veteran feel, and this is still a young offensive line by and large. Kearney is a junior. You've got a couple of sophomores, a senior and a junior besides, and Wilkerson fires incomplete to the far side. But this is a team that Tom Mcpherson feels like that offensive line is going to be better next year because most of them are coming back. But this year, the skill position guys are by and large seniors. He thinks they can make some noise in Clay County.
Oh, they're going to make some noise, all right. This is not just a young offensive line. These guys are big, and they're learning to play with each other. And not only are they big and young, but they're talented. And the skills outside, he's got all the tools. He's got power, he's got speed, he's got a quarterback who can not only throw, but run the ball. Don't sleep on his feet. You know, Wilkerson can run. It's like a 1-2 combination between him and JoJo in the backfield. He's got a fun offense to coach.
There's Wilkerson going to run it himself. Able to get past the 25 and rolls toward the 30-yard line. Wilkerson, as we mentioned, certainly capable of running. You can watch the game on Channel 4. You can watch it streaming. Or you can come out and just record it yourself.
Or watch it watch us as you're sitting in the stands.
Sure.
It's like, double bonus.
So it'll be a 4th and, let's call it 2 from the 29-yard line. Need to get just beyond the 30 to the 31. So the punt team is out there, and Wilkerson will punt it away.
And you see, because of Wilkerson being the punter, Oakleaf staying in kind of a safe punt look. They're making sure there's no fakes. Nothing weird's going to happen up front.
And it bounces all the way down inside the 30 and rolls to the 26-yard line. So with 7:17 to play here in the first quarter, let's meet the starters for the Oakleaf offense, who've already scored 1 touchdown.
Drew Hammond, quarterback.
Jordan Mitchell, offensive line.
Krishawn Sanders, offensive line. Gary and Ray, offensive line.
Wyatt Nordine, offensive line.
Colin Armstrong, offensive line.
Devin Outlaw, running back. Ray Murray, wide receiver.
Taylor Bradshaw, wide receiver.
Isaiah Shefchuk, tight end. Justin Dare, tight end.
You saw Isaiah Shefchuk there, who is the tight end, and a guy who does a little bit of everything for this team. A very confident guy, and a guy who kind of plays at 100 miles an hour for Oakleaf. And here is Ammon handing it off to Outlaw, spins away, and has a big gain again. First down out to the 41-yard line. Running against the Orange Park defense, here are the Raiders starters.
Jeffrey Jules DeLeese, defensive end. Brighton Roberts, DN.
Carson Moore, linebacker.
Malik Carter, linebacker.
Keith Bingham, linebacker.
Antoine Altis, cornerback.
Larry Thomas, corner. Noah Chambers, safety.
Ryan Rykowski, safety.
First and 10 from the 41-yard line. First throw for Ammon, who's going deep down the far side and looking for Ray Murray. It is incomplete. It'll bring up second down. Murray at 6'3". There's some height in this receiving core for Oakleaf. Murray is 6'3". Taylor Bradshaw, who we saw throw the block on the outlaw run, 6'2". DJ Hampton is a 6-footer as well. So if all else fails, throw it up in the air. Let those guys go get it.
That's not a bad play for Oakleaf. You get a chance to go deep. It's going to be fun. We're going to get a little confusion here.
And Frank Garris wants a timeout.
Timeout. Oakleaf. First short timeout of the half.
Coach Garris calling timeout, brought to you by the CSI Companies. As they search for the next play call, visit thecsicompanies.com to find joy in your job search. And Frank Garris wants to talk things over. Didn't like the formation out there, it appears.
He had to call the timeout, Cole, because Murray was still on the far sideline, ran that go route. He kind of took his time getting back. They subbed out for him, but he was on the Orange Park sidelines, kind of standing there going, what do I do? Coach Frank, wise decision, burn a timeout. Don't take a penalty. You've got a nice drive moving. Let's not kill momentum. Let's waste a timeout. Keep things rolling. That's a smart football by Oakleaf early.
Ever find yourself on the opposing sideline?
Not on purpose.
Here's Tom McPherson. His opposite number, Frank Garris. These guys certainly have enjoyed the build-up to this game. High snap. Ammon pulls it down. Quick throw. Left side caught by Ray Murray. He turns the corner as a first down into Orange Park territory at the 48-yard line.
I like these little short routes right here. Watch Ray Murray. He's got the little pitch and catch. And then if you're on an island as a cornerback, you've got to make a play. Slip, fall, first down, Oakleaf. And here we go again.
Outlaw again, running in the middle, picks up 9. Wyatt Nordine, the offensive guard for Oakleaf, told us about Outlaw. He's good, he's strong. I've seen him carry people on his back. And we haven't seen that yet, where we've seen the speed and the agility from Outlaw in the early going.
You know, big block by Jordan Mitchell, and Outlaw's out and free. Here we go again.
Yep, quickly to the line. And there's Shevchuk on the reception. Oakleaf with some tempo work here. And now we reach the hydration break, brought to you by WW Gay. We'll take time out. Oakleaf an early 7-0 lead, and the Knights are driving here in the first quarter.
The WW Gay Mechanical Contractor Bold City Showcase is brought to you by WW Gay Mechanical Contractor, Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute, and Baptist Health System.
6:12 to play first quarter. Oakleaf a 7-0 lead over Orange Park. Let's check in with Donna Murphy.
Thank you so much, Cole. So Coach Mcpherson is definitely one that knows how to speak to the youth. And by that, I mean he has his own YouTube channel. That is every kid's dream right now, especially my own little 8-year-old. Well, with his YouTube channel, which you can find him at Coach Mac, he teaches his own football skills. So with that, Coach says that it all started because he just wanted to self-evaluate his coaching abilities, and it grew from there. And I asked him what he feels about it becoming so popular. He goes, yeah, it's great that thousands of people ask me for advice, but how does it happen that I can only win 5 games a year? Well, he's a simple, humble guy. Back to you guys.
Yeah, he's won over 100 as a high school coach. And spent most of his career in Clay County, previously at Ridgeview. And they'll hand it off to Outlaw, running against the Orange Park defense. And Outlaw forward for a gain of 5 to the 20-yard line. Already, Devin Outlaw, 4 carries, 125 yards here in the first quarter, including that 95-yard touchdown run.
He is rolling. He's got an awesome mouthpiece. Did you see that? Looks like teeth. It's kind of scary. He's running tough. This is fun.
Justin Day coming on. And now they'll run Outlaw off for the moment. A little bit of a hobble there from junior running back. And they'll run it to the left with Shevchuk. Shevchuk has the first down. Frank Guerra saying of Shevchuk, you look at him, he doesn't necessarily look like an athlete, but he can do everything. He says he blames the tight uniform for the bad look from time to time. There he is running again, and Shevchuk is in for the touchdown as he broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage and goes in. So after Outlaw scored from distance, Shevchuk from closer. And it's the second touchdown of the first quarter for the Knights.
You know, what a great run. We were talking about Shevchuk being an athlete. You take out a stellar running back like Outlaw, and you slide in Shevchuk. Touchdown, Oakleaf. Great blocking up front. These guys are running into open field because this offensive line is moving people on the Orange Park side of the ball. Coach McPherson's he's going to get it figured out, and we're going to settle in here as time moves on. I got a feeling. But great play by Oakleaf.
Drew Amadon to attempt the extra point with 5:19 remaining in the first quarter. And the kick is up and good. 14-0 Oakleaf. Take another look at Isaiah Shevchuk running it in for Oakleaf here on the About 9 Associates replay monitor.
Big Isaiah Shevchuk. We've got a little trap block by the guard coming across. Watch your lead block. 88. What a great number for a lead blocker. And then Shevchuk running through some arm tackles, sees the end zone, and he's hungry. He wants it, just like I want some more Mo's. What a great touchdown. I love a good seal block by 61. That is beautiful. Wyatt Nordine, great block by the big fella up front. Oakleaf's offensive line came to play. They came to play. It's been fun to watch.
You mentioned Nordine, a guy who was big in the weight room. He says the only guy who can hang with him on the squats is Devin Outlaw, the running back. Everything else, 315 clean, 360 bench. and, oh, by the way, a 525 squat. So you've got some muscle up there paving the way in the Oakleaf running game.
Absolutely, and I love that your offensive line and your running backs are competing in the weight room. That means you got team chemistry. You got guys wanting to get better by competing even amongst themselves. That's a lot of weight, Cole. That's like your kind of weightlifting.
Yeah, well, if you triple what I'm doing and then add 2 or 3 to it, sure. The old double and add 30 technique.
Double and add 30.
So one of the things that Nordine's told us as well is that since the pandemic, this team has really become a lot closer, particularly the upperclassmen. He said when he was a freshman, it just wasn't quite as tight a unit. But having gone through what they've gone through the last 18 months, this is a group that is really tight. A lot of communication over group text. Let's take a bird's eye view at our campus shot here of Bolles. It has hosted the WWGA Bold City Showcase right on the river. What a setting for these 3 games. It has been a wonderful event so far.
It really has. Thank you, Bolles, for hosting this. Thank you, Bold City Showcase. This has been a fun thing to really showcase not only the stories, but these beautiful teams, the beautiful football that we play here on the First Coast. Good, hard football, too. Beautiful. It's hard. It's been tough. This is fun to watch.
There's Tavion Wilkerson back out at quarterback for Orange Park with 5:19 remaining, and the movement up front. Flags are dropped before the snap.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
James Dearman, the referee. We have seen a lot of Hankies on the field through these 3 games. Again, first game, you kind of expect that.
I do expect it. It's one of those things. Look at this Oakleaf offense moving the ball.
I'll give it to JoJo Restall. Restall running right and following along behind his offensive lineman, trying to find the first down marker. Came up just a bit shy, but it should bring up a 2nd and a yard. Again, we've seen Roderick Kearney lining up on the right side predominantly here, trying to run that way behind Big Ron. 2nd and a yard. Restall running behind Kearney, has a hole and a first down, keeping those legs pumping. Finally pulled down in Oakleaf territory at the 44-yard line. JoJo Restall busting out. Last year in 8 games, 5 of them were 100-yard games for Restall. Watch him run here.
This is just power running by Restall. JoJo, 1 guy hits him, 2 guys hits him, 3 guys. He's carrying him for a couple more yards. Finally, Oakleaf brings down JoJo. Is just, what a great run.
Averaged 149 yards per game as a junior. Or rather, as a sophomore, now as a junior. He'll be relied on heavily by Orange Park. This one incomplete.
Cole, that's one of those things that, as an offense, that gets you fired up to watch a guy just giving effort like JoJo just gave on that last run. Your offensive line gets fired up when something like that happens. It makes you block a little bit harder, makes you hold on a little bit more. Everybody kind of cues in when somebody does that. That's senior leadership.
2nd and 10 for Orange Park. They're going to throw it. Wilkerson throws high, trying to find Brian Green. A little too high. It's incomplete. So 3rd and 10 coming up here for Orange Park. An opportunity to keep the drive alive and try to get on the board here. The ground game of Oakleaf working for the Knights. Both Restall and Carter now run for 32 yards each. Malik Carter did it on 1 carry. Now Restall heads out of the backfield. They throw it left side, caught by Nolan Chambers, coming inside, close to a first down, and tried to get wide. And I think he's going to be just shy of the first down marker because of it. You see Chambers' numbers from a year ago. 2nd leading receiver on the team coming back this year behind Carter. And now 4th and a yard. Wilkerson trying to draw Oakleaf offside. The Knights call timeout.
Timeout. Oakleaf, second charge timeout at half.
So a CSI Company's timeout as Tom Mcpherson strategizes over on the Orange Park sideline. Frank Garris will do the same on his side. I think he may be arguing for a spot there. But let's take a look at what we've seen out of Devin Outlaw so far. First touch of the game, 95 yards and off to the races for the Knights, but he was not done after that. This carry with a spin move, 16 yards, a 9-yard gain.
I like what I see out of Devin Outlaw. I see tough running. I see speed. Then you got Shevchuk, who's just plowing through a big open hole by this offensive line from Oakleaf.
Yeah, as that was the first play that Outlaw came to the sideline, and Shevchuk comes in, runs a couple of times, and on in. So 4th and a yard, and Wilkerson for Orange Park will hand it off. And running right side, and a first down for Orange Park.
Number 6.
That was Mike Tuasano, who ran to the right side, the senior 200-pounder. His first run of the game.
It's a nice little run by Tuasano. Just kind of slips outside, gains more than what they needed. We're moving the chains. Orange Park keeping the ball, keeping this drive alive.
And I think we have a penalty marker down. I think it's going to be a sideline warning again.
Which is a key of emphasis. That's a point of emphasis this year, right?
We've seen him in every game so far. At least a warning.
Sideline warning. Oakleaf, first of the half.
There's Frank Garris. He was the one who was about 10 yards out on the field.
He was kind of out there. He's a little excited. I'm sure Coach Garris played at some point in time. Looks like he was probably an offensive lineman. He wants to get out there and mix it up. You can just tell. Most coaches do. They get a little overexcited. They step out a little bit far. And most of the time, they let them get away with it. But as a point of emphasis, the refs are going to give you a warning.
Well, at the college level, you have the get-back coach.
There is and even in the pro level, there's the get-back coach.
Not so much in the high school ranks.
Might have to come into the high school ranks.
Giovanni Fowlin gets the carry. And not much working on the right side for Fowlin. Third running back to touch the ball for Orange Park here in this first quarter.
Orange Park has put together a really nice drive here to kind of wind down this first quarter. They're holding onto the ball. They're being methodical. They're taking chunks when they need to take chunks, but they're also doing some grinding. They're keeping Oakleaf's offense off the field.
Blocking the back. Offense, number 11. 10 yards from the flag. First down.
I did not see the flag dropped initially, and it was over on that far side, right at the point of attack. So mark back 10 yards for Orange Park. If you're Tom Mcpherson, you'd love to get a touchdown here on this drive to make this keep the game in reach. As potent as Oakleaf can be, particularly with the ground game, you got to be careful. 1st and 20 from the 35-yard line. Wilkerson. Quick throw, right side, caught. Brian Green, and gains about 8.
I like the call on first down. You know, it's 1st and 20. Let's just get back a chunk of it. We've got 3 downs to get out there. You know, Orange Park's got a good kicker. Let's see if we can at least get our guy into our field goal range.
2nd and 12 now for Wilkerson. Again, we know he can run and he can throw. Dual threat quarterback. Rest all in the backfield with him. And he'll throw it as a man in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Nolan Chambers holds on for the Raiders.
Fantastic play. Tavion Wilkerson to Nolan Chambers. A throw, a great catch in traffic. Let's look at it on the replay. Watch, we've got a big rush by Oakleaf. Big guys coming up the middle. Wilkerson holds in. The ball is just absolutely right there. Great catch. He's got arms. Let's celebrate Orange Park. Keeping it close.
Elijah Craigett, the backup quarterback, is out there right now as they line up with everybody to the left for a two-point conversion. Craigett fires incomplete. There is a penalty marker down in the end zone.
And that leaves your score.
So hold everything.
Knights 14, Orange Park Raiders 6.
There has been an explosion of penalty markers here in this first quarter.
Holding. 22 on the defense. After this to the goal, retry.
So another opportunity for Orange Park. Will they go for two again?
Why not?
It looks like the same formation. They split out 6 players to the left, 2 to the right, and nobody around the center. Now they bring the line back in.
This is one of those things that as a specialist or as an offensive lineman, you hate when coaches install. It's called the swinging game.
Yep.
You're trying to get your the defense to misalign, miscount, maybe do what they did in the first play to throw the ball. But as an offensive lineman, you've got to run and you got to get set. It's not fun.
And at the extra point, kicked by
No good.
Orange Park, William Nicholson, no good. So after all that, just the 6 points on this Tavion Wilkerson pass to Nolan Chambers. 14-6 the score with 1:59 to play in the first quarter.
Just a beautiful throw and a fantastic catch.
As we said, that was an important drive for Orange Park here, even though it's still the first quarter. To be able to put some points on the board, going to do wonder for the confidence of this team.
You know, Orange Park's got a lot, like we've talked about, they've got a lot of veterans, some seniors, some older guys at those key positions that know how to play in big games.
Let's check in on the sidelines once again with Donna Murphy.
Thank you so much, Cole. Well, when speaking with Coach McPherson this past week, I asked him about must have felt so great getting your 100th victory last year and last season. Well, no, he didn't say that one. He goes, no, actually it wasn't. You know, his response was not so. Max said it should have been more like a Lifetime Achievement Award for as long as I have been coaching. Yeah, okay, Coach. Thanks so much. Back to you guys.
Tom McPherson is a guy who's got a specific sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
He's a hard-nosed coach, very passionate on the sidelines as well. Penalty marker down after the kick out of bounds. And James Dearman about to get more camera time. There are 2 penalty markers down, one on the sideline and one just off the sideline. And a decision to be made for Frank Garris.
Kick out of bounds. Kicking team. It's 5-yard penalty. After the play, personal foul. Oakleaf, 15 yards, re-kick.
The penalties continue here.
Okay.
There you see Tom McPherson, 22 years as a coach, 20 of them at Clay County schools, including Ridgeview. He was an assistant the first year at Ridgeview and then took over as the head coach after that school opened up. And now at Orange Park, he has been a fixture in Clay County football for a long, long time.
He's been a great coach. I know guys have loved to play for Coach Mack. They love his intensity. They love his personality. They play hard for him, and he's had some really good teams over the last few years.
I think accurate to say he's a bit of a throwback coach.
I would say both of these guys on both sidelines are a little bit throwback. They're a little bit more in your face. They're going to coach hard, but they coach hard and they love hard as well.
You say that, and then, as Donna mentioned, the YouTube channel. Vince Lombardi didn't have a YouTube channel.
No, he didn't, but imagine if he did.
I think that was mostly NFL films back in those days.
Those were some great things. Those the music, the voiceovers.
See if John Facenda can do some voiceover for Coach McPherson's YouTube channel.
Fantastic. I would give stars.
So the kickoff now will come from the 50-yard line. And we'll see if Tom McPherson gets creative here.
The ball is spotted at midfield on the 50-yard line.
You could just try to kick it through the end zone, or you have some options from the 50. If you hit a little pooch kick, you might be able to pin Oakleaf back inside the 20. Here's William Nicholson to do the honors. It's it deep. And this one taken at the 8-yard line. And spinning away. And on the run for Oakleaf, Mike Brannon. Brannon looked like he was dead to rights around the 20. Takes it all the way out to the 40. Take another look.
Cole, that's what we like to call the PlayStation glitch. Watch this. Brannon takes the kickoff, running upfield. You think he's down. Nope. Game freezes. Wait, it's back on. He's running down the sidelines. Oh, my gosh, 10 more yards. The glitch works sometimes.
Knew I should check the Wi-Fi.
You know, you and I used to play that Nintendo. You had to blow the cartridge out. Not anymore. You get the glitch. You get an extra 10 yards. Great run. Great balance.
Nintendo. I was an Atari football guy.
Atari football?
Yeah.
I heard there was a Journey game for Atari. Is that right?
There was. Journey Escape. Yeah. Always great to play Stephen Perry in a...
bands with video games.
Yeah.
Oh, the days.
A rare option. Here's Shevchuk coming to the inside. And pushed out of bounds. So we've not seen Outlaw yet. He is on the sideline on a knee. And we did see him a little tenderly coming off earlier. And since then, Shevchuk is taking care of the running for Oakleaf.
You know, we saw some great runs by Outlaw, but
now Hammond going deep downfield. This one caught at the 5 and into the end zone. Taylor Bradshaw, touchdown, as Oakleaf continues to hurry up between snaps.
I'm trying to give Shevchuk some love, and meanwhile, Hammond and Bradshaw connect for a big touchdown play for Oakleaf.
Third touchdown of the first quarter for the Knights. They now lead 20-6 with the extra point coming up. We'll see if Donna can find out a little bit more about Outlaw's situation. But it has not hampered Oakleaf's offense one iota.
They are absolutely rolling.
So I am in the extra point. Bit of a low snap. The placement is good. The kick is up, and it is through. A minute 31 to play in the first quarter. 21-6. Oakleaf with the lead thanks to this. Drew Ammon to Taylor Bradshaw touchdown. They go over the top for the score.
You know, after a big run by Shevchuk, they hurry up. Oakleaf gets to the line. Snap. Deep ball. Bradshaw behind the defense. Touchdown, Oakleaf.
One more look at it here.
Just a little fake handoff and just smooth.
Hammond was looking Bradshaw's way the whole time.
Wide open. Touchdown, Knights. I like that hurry-up call, you know, by the Knights on that play. You know, you had a nice run. The defense is kind of on their heels. You run back up to the ball, and you take a shot deep. It worked out well for him.
It's been mostly the ground game, but when Ammon has thrown, he's been effective. 2 out of 3 for 62 yards, including that 42-yard connection.
Those are pretty good numbers. I'm going to have to pick him up for my high school fantasy team.
Well, I mean, you should have jumped in early.
Donna's got him?
Yeah.
Oh, Donna, I'll make a trade. Hammond, 3-sport star, played soccer, he plays tennis, kicks the ball, throws touchdowns.
This one fielded on one hop. And here comes Restall, the 25 to the 30. And Restall dragged down from behind at the 35. And get the ball in JoJo Restall's hands. Watch out. Some big things can happen for Orange Park.
I like watching JoJo Restall run with the ball. He doesn't, there's no other speed. There's no gear other than top. He's wide open every single time he touches the ball. He was doing it there on that return. That's fun to watch.
And a minute 21 to play in the first quarter. We've seen some quarters so far that have flown by. This one, because of all the scores and perhaps the penalties, it's been a little more extended, but certainly Oakleaf isn't complaining about things.
I can't believe we're still in the first quarter, Cole.
Wilkerson to throw it. Put it up deep. And overshoots Brian Green, who is streaking down the far sideline. You've got Green, a junior, Chambers, a junior, Cam Griffith and Malik Carter are seniors, Restall's a junior, and Wilkerson's a junior. So there's still going to be a bulk of this offense back next year for Orange Park. Again, just the opener of this season, but Tom Mcpherson is really excited about the future of his program.
And he should be. He's got some really talented skill players who have a lot of experience already, who are going to get more this year, who are playing behind an offensive line who's coming back as well.
We'll hand it off, and this is Giovanni Fowlin. Loses a few on the carry.
Coach Mcpherson rolling running backs through. He's trying to keep guys fresh. It is muggy out on the field. It's still hot. He's trying to keep everybody fresh. And I think he realizes this is not going to be a game that's going to be won in the first quarter. It's going to take all 4 quarters of grinding out.
And there's a real difference when you talked about having speed backs versus power backs, too.
Absolutely. You want to keep those legs fresh. You want to keep that speed up there.
Wilkerson to throw. Has time. Now rolling. He's going to tuck it and now throw. Has Chambers out there deep. Chambers comes back for the ball. Incomplete. And there's the penalty. Flag thrown in right after. Chambers couldn't come up with it. He was coming back for the ball.
We also got a flag at the line of scrimmage, Cole. Wilkerson might have been beyond the line when he threw that ball.
2 fouls on the play. Pass interference. Defense. Illegal forward pass. Offense. Those fouls offset. Still third down.
Wilkerson was past the line of scrimmage.
That's what I like to call the do-over.
Yeah, the old DO.
They should just call that on they should call from the field. Do-over. Remember we used to call that out when we were playing ball on the street. Just a do-over. Or redo, whatever we used to. It was just so much fun. It was just, hey, erase it, start over. Here we go again.
We just called it the DO in the Midwest. We like to keep things.
You don't want to say too many words, do you?
Yeah. We were meant a few words.
3 syllables is just too much for a Midwestern guy in Kansas,
exactly.
Like yourself.
Yep.
It's cold outside. Try to keep the words to a minimum.
Yeah.
I understand.
Fallon remains in the game as the running back, so we've seen both Outlaw and Restall. He's subbed out here. Nope, beg your pardon. That is Restall. There he goes, running right and keeps it going at the 40. Pushes forward. There is a penalty marker down where he was tackled. Maybe a face mask.
Might be.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
James Dearman is going to need representation for the amount of time he's been on air. I want to at least to get Screen Actors Guild minimum here.
Well, it's been a little bit of sloppiness. There's been a little things. There he is again. They're keeping the game in check. These guys they're working hard again. First game for the officials. First game for teams. Not upset about it.
No, I don't. By the way,
making good calls.
They've all been penalties.
Yeah, they've all been penalties.
A lot of work to do. Now Orange Park will run it here.
Restall's not a big guy. He's not big, but he runs really hard. It is fun to watch.
Brings us to the end of the first quarter. Oakleaf leading 21-6. Back with the second quarter after this. About ready to start the second quarter. Oakleaf leads Orange Park 21-6 in this Clay County battle. Let's head down to the sidelines and check in with Donna Murphy.
Yes, thank you so much. Call on with John Scrimolo, the Clay County Athletic Director. All right, John, how does it feel to have both of your schools right here in the Bolles City Showcase?
This is unbelievable. I mean, I feel like it's like the University of Florida, Florida State. I mean, we got the bands, we got the cheerleaders, the pomp, the circumstance. And anytime Cole Pepper's on the call, you know it's going to be a good night.
Oh, well, you can't leave out Joe Zelenka. I mean, he is the Jaguars' former player, so.
Any Jags are good by me.
That's good. All right, how important is High School 912 to programs like your high schools?
Well, I'll tell you, in Clay County, our vision for athletics is the best student-athlete experience, and we want to build lifelong champions. And what is student-athlete experience? This is student-athlete experience. So the fact that, Alan and his team and Airstream Ventures have the capital and the investment from investors to do these types of things gives these kids experiences they will never forget. I mean, most of these kids won't play in college, but they will have the ability to say they've played on TV before. So, those are the lifelong memories we're looking for in athletics, and without Airstream Ventures and WWGA and all the great sponsors of the Bolles City Showcase, these things wouldn't happen. So we're so fortunate, so thankful, and super excited to see these teams keep duking it out.
Well, thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Cole.
Donna, let Scrummo know the check's in the mail on the shout out there. All right, here we go with Tavion Wilkerson running it on third down for Orange Park. He's tripped up shy of the first down, taken down at the 39-yard line. And now fourth down and 4. Let's see what Tom Mcpherson decides to do here at the outset of the second quarter. Orange Park needing a little jump start, trailing 21-6.
A little bit of a gray area. I like what Coach McPherson's doing. He's going for it.
And a timeout called by Oakleaf.
Timeout. Oakleaf. Your final timeout of the half.
Frank Garris not afraid to use the timeouts here in the first half. That is the third and final timeout for the Knights in the first half, a CSI Company's timeout. Interesting, too, to see how things have played out in Clay County with certainly an explosion in terms of the population. That has been growing for years and years. Tom McPherson certainly knows about that, but you've got the likes of Oakleaf and Ridgeview and Orange Park. Clay High has had some big successful runs as well. Middleburg. You see things going in that direction, and interesting to see how the county continues to evolve over time. You see the population there, over 200,000. Parks and outdoor trails, lakes and rivers, beautiful outdoors living in Clay County. There's also a new paddle system to rent paddle boards and explore the waterways. New Baptist Health Hospital opening next year. They've hosted USA Cycling and amateur road racing. And how about this if you want to stay in what is in a sense a human birdhouse?
That is pretty cool. Cole, it's your anniversary.
Yeah, and I'm here working with you.
You're here working with me.
Yeah.
That might be, but
maybe for the future.
Maybe for the future.
Restall running and has the first down as he rolls across the 35 to the 34-yard line and keep the drive going for the Raiders.
Cole, you missed on those graphics. You missed like two of the big key facts about Clay County. I saw pickleball courts and frisbee disc golf.
That's true.
Those are sports that anybody can play. They're so much fun. And Clay County is really a beautiful place. If you live in Duval, if you live in St. John's, and you haven't headed out to Clay for dinner and to experience what's going on down there, please come on down and join in the fun in Clay County, because it is really a beautiful place.
Just tell them John Scrimolo sent you. First and 10 for Orange Park. They'll give it to Restall, trying to get wide and taken down from behind. Nice tackle in the secondary, taken down by Amir Green, who's made a couple of plays for the Oakleaf defense.
Amir Green, this is a great tackle against a really good running back who kind of gives him a little dead leg shimmy. And, Amir just makes a nice open field tackle.
Just a sophomore. It's a player that we'll expect to see more out of as his career develops. So 2nd and 11 now from the 35. Restall in motion. Wilkerson going to throw it back this way. Caught by Brian Green. And Green has a first down, running between the hash marks. A little slip screen for Brian Green.
Orange Park sputtered in the last drive a little bit, but they're back to what they're doing well, and that's spreading the ball around, spreading the field out there, and using their skill. I love this. He looks over to Restall. He comes back, little bubble screen. He's got big fellas out front blocking, and just makes a nice little play. Nice shoestring tackle. That was impressive. Dakota Brown, nice play.
The clock running under 9.5 minutes here in the first half. The only touchdown of the game for Orange Park so far, a Tavion Wilkerson to Nolan Chambers touchdown pass. They're driving for another. Quick throw, and there is that combination again. Wilkerson to Chambers, touchdown for the second time. Junior wide receiver has a pair.
Cole, we're in for a slugfest in the nightcap. Here we are, Orange Park, Oakleaf, rivalries, and we're throwing punches back and forth. Haymakers getting thrown. I love this play. Wilkerson drops back, throws. Number 13, James Kitchen, bites on it. Young player, he's a freshman. Thinks he could make a little play on it. Just a half a step short. Touchdown, Orange Park.
And we talked to the freshman defensive back about his expectations, James Kitchen, and he said he might be able to pick off a couple. Very confident. Now trying to run a 2-point try again, and another flag down.
Prior to snap, all sides, defense. 5 or half the distance to the goal, replay try.
That's now the 9th penalty of this ball game.
Cole, if you play cornerback and you're not confident,
yeah, you're not playing cornerback.
You're not playing cornerback.
Yeah.
Like, you have to play that position with some swag, with some swagger. You've got to play it out there because you're on an island. You're all by yourself. If you make a mistake, just like we just saw, you're exposed to everybody. Everybody knows it on both sidelines, in the stands, now on TV. But guess what? As a cornerback with that swag, you've got a really short memory. You're like a goldfish.
Elijah Craigette on the rollout, and all alone converts on the 2-point conversion.
Number 10, Ryan.
Nobody was in the area as Ryan Rakowski hauls it in. Rakowski usually a safety, but used on the 2-point conversion. And so it's 21-14, back to a 7-point game.
I like that it's 21-14. I don't like those weird numbers when we're playing football. I like us in units of 7. This is good for me, good for you, Cole. Great little play put on by Orange Park. A 2-point conversion. Just a nice little throw and catch.
And again, that swinging gate approach with everybody to the left. And Craigette rolling to the right.
This is one of those things when you are that wide open, you just got to focus and catch the ball. There's nothing worse than being that wide open and just hit your hands. But we didn't have that problem, did we? No, we didn't.
I was going to say, I don't recall that having been an issue.
Nope. That was beautiful.
So 9:09 remaining before halftime, and Frank Garris's team is taking a couple of body blows here by Orange Park. I mean, this is a game, we talked about how these two teams viewed this rivalry. This one is covered up right next to the sideline at the 21 by Oakleaf. The Oakleaf players, by and large, do not look at this in the same way as the Orange Park players do from a rivalry standpoint. This feels like the #1 rivalry for Orange Park. It feels like maybe 2 or 3 on the list for Oakleaf because of some of their playoff losses to Bartram Trail and the like. So maybe a little different kind of motivation to start the season for OP. They've been thinking about this one for a while.
I think both of these teams have been thinking about it for a while. This is the Bold City Showcase. These guys knew they were going to be on TV. They know each other. They live close to each other. There's probably some dividing school lines in some of these streets. Maybe they live across the street from each other. They knew this was going on.
Hammond will hand it off. And this is Mike Brannon running the football. See Brannon and Shevchuk both in there running since Devin Outlaw left the game and did not return. So a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11. Brannon again. This time has a seam. Has a first down to the 39-yard line.
Really nice run by Mike Brannon, MB, running hard. I like what he's going. Coach Garrett said he had a great camp. He practiced hard, and he won himself a backup role, and now he's getting his number called on with Outlaw taking some time on the sidelines.
The hurry-up play here by Oakleaf. Brannon again. This time rolls forward for a gain of 9. That Oakleaf offensive line has paved the way for Brannon, for Shevchuk, and before that for Outlaw.
You know, those guys up front, Jordan Mitchell, Kearshawn Sanders, Garon Gay, Ray, Wyatt Nordine.
Timeout. Orange Park. It's first timeout of the half.
The 4th timeout called by these teams so far here in the first half. A rarity. Again, early in the season, a little bit of confusion, more so than you might expect by midseason. So a CSI Company's timeout called by Tom Mcpherson.
I like this call. I like this call of a timeout, Cole. It kind of slows things down. You know, it makes it easy. Kind of like if you and I went to dinner down in Clay County. We wouldn't feel the pace of the city. Here we are, Frisbee Golf.
Frisbee Golf. There it is.
This is a fun game. Fun sport.
Yeah.
You know, anybody can play. That's really good form.
And, of course, those are not mountains in Clay County.
No.
But some nitro racing will be coming to Clay County as well. Yeah.
That's just fun.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Yep. They have really been spreading the thoughts on bringing some big and unusual sporting events to Clay County. And I believe we had a lightning flash.
Is that a really big camera?
Yeah. So at 8:11, a lightning strike that was close enough that we could see it from the press box, as did everybody else in the stadium. So we are going to go under a weather delay for the second time today. First one came in the 4th quarter of the Creekside Revault game.
At this time, we need to ask everyone to please.
And they'll be clearing the stadium and getting the players and coaches off the sidelines as well. And so it will be a minimum of 30 minutes until we'll see football again played on this field. It has been quite an entertaining first quarter plus, with Oakleaf leading 21-14 in this Clay County battle. And, Joe, we've seen a little bit of everything already.
We've seen passes, we've seen hard running, we've seen good defense. And now we got penalties, and now we got lightning. I mean, we've seen it all. I mean, I'm emotionally drained, and we're only into the second quarter.
We'll take a knee, we'll take a break, and we'll be back at the WWGA Bolles City Showcase here on Channel 4.
All right, welcome back here. We are coming back from the weather delay. The players are back on the field. I have been told that we will get this game back on. We're just waiting for the 15-minute warm-up that they are getting. And we're going to go right back up to the booth and get with Cole and Joe. Guys?
All right, Donna, thank you very much. Well, we are coming up very quickly on time where we may be able to see some football here. Joe, you see some of the players out there, and maybe just a couple of minutes away from a snap.
Cole, I'm a little excited. It looks like we're going to get football playing here.
Dump the station.
All right, folks, it's play resumes. It's open to solve. First and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now, Cole, recap us where we left off. I forget. It was so long ago where everything stopped. Help me remember.
Yeah, 8:03 to go in the second quarter. And the clock will run, and on a 1st and 10, Oakleaf will hand it off. Mike Brannon right up the middle, and he has the first down.
Oh, I remember. Oakleaf just running the ball. It's like we never stop time.
Yeah.
Brannon again.
Forward in time. Yeah, easy enough. So one other bit of housekeeping. There is not going to be the extended normal halftime. It's going to be a 6-minute halftime. So don't go away. Brannon running it again. Cuts to the outside, and he's off to the races. There he goes. Mike Brannon. Touchdown, Oakleaf.
That didn't take long. Mike Brannon stepping in. Devin Outlaw taking some time, injured. Something's going on. We've got Mike Brannon stepping up, making a great play. Watch this. Big fellas up front, 54, 55. You know, Kershawn Sanders, Jordan Mitchell, clearing lanes. And then here we go. Whoop, little slip. And Mike Brannon into the record books. Nice touchdown run.
That's 3 different running backs for Oakleaf who have scored touchdowns in this game. Devin Outlaw, 95 yards on the opening snap. Isaiah Shevcook did it later, and then here is Brannon, and the extra point is up and good by Drew Ammon. And so it took less than a minute of game time for Oakleaf to put another touchdown on the board, 28-14. Take another look.
I like this play. Coming out of a long break, you go back to what you do best. Oakleaf running the ball, letting their big fellows up front, Mitchell, Sanders, Raid, Nordine, and Armstrong, clear the way for Mike Brannon. It doesn't matter who they hand the ball off to. It seems like they're just putting down yardage.
Give credit to that offensive line up front, as you mentioned. When you have not 1, not 2, but 3 guys running the ball effectively, there's one common denominator, and it's those 5 fellas up front.
It's the big fellas working hard up front, and these running backs know it. They love their offensive line. Their offensive line loves that these guys run so hard. And guess who loves it most of all? Big Frank Garris. He loves this team running the ball. He likes power football.
Now, let me ask you about the psychology of coaching here. It has been a long delay. You're going out and running on a bit of a soft surface. We know that. It shouldn't be an issue. They have determined it's not an issue from a safety standpoint, but it may feel a little different. Do you call any plays differently as a result? Double moves and so forth in the passing game. We'll see how that all plays out.
You can, Cole, but what Oakleaf said is, you know what, we're just going to come at you and we're going to hit you in the mouth. You might have been sitting in that locker room drinking some Gatorade, relaxing, thinking things are easy, and they said, hey, guess what, we're going to go back and we're going to swing hard. And we want to put down some more points, grind some more yards. How many yards do we have right now for Oakleaf on the ground rushing as a team?
Let me get that for you, because it has been impressive so far running the football. Oakleaf with 237 rushing yards here through the first quarter and a half.
That's a great game, and we're not even through the first half yet. We still got half. We've been through a quarter and a half.
And I'm going to ask one more housekeeping question here as Orange Park goes back on offense with Tavion Wilkerson at quarterback. I'm assuming that the hydration break of the quarter will not be taken here after a hour-plus delay. And now here is Wilkerson going long, blowing deep and over the head of Malik Carter, who was open downfield, but they could not connect. So it will be second down.
Oakleaf does what they do best, and what does Orange Park do? They're doing what they do best. They're going to air it out. They're going to use their speed, their skill players, try to make a big play. That's hard, though, coming off of you've been sitting around so long. I mean, Wilkerson didn't take some long throws in that little 15-minute warm-up. That's a pretty nice arm to be coming just to throw it that far.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Wilkerson trying to get Oakleaf to jump. The defense would not, so he looks to the sideline to need another play. Keyshawn Riley, the linebacker, crowding up near the line. Hand it off, JoJo Restall. Restall running left. Restall into the secondary and up near the 40-yard line. A gain of 19 for Restall, who has been impressive when given the opportunity here tonight. He now has 8 carries for 56 yards in the first half.
I like JoJo. I mean, he's got the name, the best name in the world, but he says it twice, and he's running the ball hard. It's fun to watch this kid play. He is a really hard-nosed football player.
Wilkerson to throw, quickly out to the near side, and overshoots Nolan Chambers, incomplete. You're a sucker for a good name, aren't you?
I really am. I like the name Joe. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
It just rolls off your tongue.
There's Frank Garris. Again, one of the conversations that was happening during the delay was that both teams have October the 8th as a bye week, and if this game would not have been able to be continued, could have been a makeup potentially, but we're glad they're able to make the assessment that it's safe to play, and continuing action here in the second quarter. Wilkerson from the gun with Restall going out of the backfield and through the hands of two receivers. Nolan Chambers was the first one and Cam Griffith the second, as the ball was off the mark by Wilkerson. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Orange Park.
You know, Cole, even though it's not raining anymore, the ground is still wet. And when that referee puts the ball down, guess what happens to that ball?
It gets wet again.
It gets wet again. And this turf, it holds water just a little bit differently than grass does, like natural grass. And oddly enough, there are going to be some wet spots on that ball that quarterbacks like Wilkerson is going to have to deal with as time moves forward here.
3rd down and 10 from the 39-yard line for Orange Park. Raiders trailing by 14. Wilkerson, good protection. Now fires deep, looking downfield, and couldn't quite get enough arm on it for Nolan Chambers, who was streaking on a post pattern. So 4th and 10 coming up for the Raiders. Talked about Oakleaf and their recent tradition. They have one player in the National Football League, Shaq Quarterman of the Jaguars. Orange Park, on the other hand, 3 players drafted in the NFL in the past. Back in 1987, Adrian White, a defensive back, taken in the 2nd round. Chris Gannon, a 3rd-round pick in 1989. And Ray Criswell, 5th rounder, 1986. Punt for a long time in the league. This one is away. And Oakleaf will let it bounce and roll inside the 15 and down to about the 12-yard line. Special teams may be impacted by the weather as much as anything right now. We'll keep an eye on that. They are taking the hydration break with 6:16 remaining in the first half. 28-14. Oakleaf leading Orange Park.
The WWGay Mechanical Contractor Bold City Showcase is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill, High School 912, and CSI Companies.
6:16 to play, 2nd quarter. Orange Park trailing Oakleaf 28-14. Everybody should be properly hydrated by now and ready to continue here in the 2nd quarter. Oakleaf will work from their own 12-yard line after the good punt by the Raiders. Quick throw out to the left, and it is caught by Armand Cooper. Cooper able to get forward for 5, maybe 6. The senior who had 3 catches last year in a reserve role, getting his first catch of this ball game. And Ammon will hand it off. And once again, here is Mike Brannon. Brannon busting free past the 35 and up near the 40-yard line. Did not have a single carry a year ago, but the senior is getting it done here in the 2nd quarter of the opener.
He is getting it done behind this massive offensive line. Kylan Armstrong paving the way right there. Again, another huge hole.
Brannon again. And finally corralled as he passes the 50-yard line into Raiders territory. That's an 18-yard gain. So Brannon has had runs of 19, 14, 29, and 18 among his 7 carries so far. And he's zeroing in on the 100-yard first half.
2 running backs with 100-yard first half?
Could happen. He in fact, with that 12-yard run, he's now over 100 yards.
Well, there we go.
Quick throw left side, caught by Ray Murray. Murray's going all the way across the field, but caught and spun down. Britton Roberts, the top returning tackler for the Orange Park team, makes the tackle there.
You know, Cole, that's one of those plays where you run like 45 yards and you actually lose 5.
Yeah.
Like that's too much running. You got to go forward. You can't go east-west. There aren't many players that can do that. Run that east-west. There's very, very few, and they have very special names like Barry. You know. They could go east and west. Not many guys. Go north and south.
And they'll hand it off. And this is Outlaw who's back out there. And Outlaw plows his way for 7. Devin Outlaw. He backed up Adrian Gray last year, ran for 1,100 yards. And Outlaw now is a junior, looking like a guy who might repeat that kind of feat. This running game has been strong for the Knights. And Orange Park will call a timeout. Tom McPherson wants to slow things down. Oakleaf starting to get in a rhythm running the football. And so a CSI Company's timeout called here with 4:16 to play before halftime. And, Joe, this running game for Oakleaf is really in a groove right now.
It really is. And you know what? Tom McPherson, master tactician, he saw that this momentum was beginning to pick up. He probably saw number 5 step back on the field, have a little chunk run, and he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to burn a timeout. We're going to slow things down. I'm going to talk to my guys on the sideline. And look at him. He's out there coaching hard, coaching the defensive backs. He's coaching the defensive line. He's coaching everybody. Wears a lot of different hats for this Orange Park team, and he wants to make sure that he gets his guys in the best possible place for them to make a play.
You can see Tom McPherson is animated getting his message across to his team. A calmer look on the Oakleaf sideline when you're leading by 2 touchdowns and running the ball like they are. Not as much to try to adjust. Look at the rushing yards so far in this game, 274 for the Knights.
And you know who loves to see that? Not only the head coach, but those 5 guys up front. That offensive line, they love to grind. They want to be able to just put their weight on you and make some holes for their running back.
And now Orange Park jumps off sides as Ammon slapped the hands together with a hard count.
Offside. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So a first down after the penalty at the 33. Oakleaf stay on the ground. Yes, they will. Here is Outlaw. Little jump step, and there he goes, right up the middle. Tried to make a cut, and that wet turf became an issue. Outlaw goes down, but another first down by the Oakleaf ground game.
Again, Devin Outlaw and this big offensive line is just running. Where there's a hole, he runs through it. When he has to make a cut, he does.
Outlaw again. And down to the 8-yard line. You've got the Knights continuing to try to hurry up between snaps. After a 7-yard gain by Outlaw. He's now over 150 yards. And he'll add to it here. Outlaw dives for the end zone. Did he get in? They say down inside the 1. It'll be a first and goal for Oakleaf as the ground game coming right at you here.
Devin Outlaw running through an arm tackle, puts his hand down. You know, if there was replay in high school, that would be a replayable play. Referee, good eyes, though, said he was down just shy.
I'm going to assume he might get another crack at it here.
I'm thinking you're going to hand the ball to the big fella. He's done all the work so far. Let him go get 6.
There he does. Second touchdown of the game for Devin Outlaw, who's over 160 yards in the first half. And the ground assault continues for the Knights of Oakleaf. 34-14 now with the extra point coming up.
This was a beautiful drive put together by Oakleaf, starting way back on their side of the 50. Slow, methodical, did exactly what they wanted to do. I think there might have been one pass through it, but everything else was on the ground. We saw a little bit of Mike Brannon and a whole lot of Devin Outlaw to go ahead and put Oakleaf up 28-14, or now 34-14.
And here's Ammon with the extra point. Swings his leg through it, and it's right down the middle. 3:07 to play in the second quarter, and Oakleaf on top 35-14. The ground game has been impressive. Now a word from Gemstone Media. 3:07 to play in the first half. Oakleaf leading 35-14 thanks to the ground game. Devin Outlaw, Mike Brannon. Before that, Isaiah Shevchuk. It has been an impressive ground performance. Over 300 yards rushing here in the first half by the Knights of Oakleaf. We keep talking about it, and they keep doing it.
We do. And 300 yards, there's teams that would love to see that for like 2 games in a high school football season, and Oakleaf's done it in a half.
Ammon with a kickoff into the end zone, a touchback, and OP will start at their own 20-yard line. If you're Tom McPherson, what do you do to try to get your Raiders going here?
You know, Cole, you just want to get some momentum. You want to put a nice little drive together. You want to make a couple plays. You want to get the ball in the hands of your stars, of your playmakers. You want to give it to JoJo. You want to keep it in Wilkerson's hand. And we haven't called Malik Carter in a while. This athlete that had a really nice catch early in the game. We haven't said his name in a while. Of course, there was the rain delay, but hopefully we can get the ball back in his hands and let the athletes make plays.
There are a lot of players we haven't called in a while after that long weather delay. So here is Tavion Wilkerson from the pistol formation. I'll hand it off, and Restall finds a couple of yards running in the middle. Restall has been doing his part. That's his 9th carry for 60 yards so far in the game.
Restall's been doing his part, but the Oakleaf defense has been doing theirs as well. You've got big guys, monstrous guys up front. Micah Caldwell, 6'4", 330. You got Prince Savia, a junior at 6 foot 230, number 44. They are just clogging the middle. They're making it to be really hard work for that Orange Park offense to get anything going.
On second down, Wilkerson will throw. Pressure coming. Tries to spin away. Gets a block. Going to look downfield and fire. 2 receivers out there, and he overshoots both of them. He had 2 guys in the area, Nolan Chambers and Brian Green, both on the scramble play. Both went deep, and Wilkerson couldn't connect. So 3rd and 6, with 2:09 to play before halftime. Again, we'll have a truncated halftime. It will be just a 6-minute break at halftime after the long extended weather delay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, DeMarcus, go get him!
I think we'd all like to see this game played through to its conclusion at a fair to say reasonable time. Quick throw left side. This one caught by Chambers, who has both touchdowns for Orange Park. And he stopped just shy of the first down.
Number 17, Nolan Chambers on the reception.
He was just shy of the 30-yard line. Nope, they give him right at the mark. So a first down connection, and they'll move the chains for for Orange Park with 1:51 to play. The clock running here in the second quarter.
Just a little bit of momentum. One play can change this entire momentum feel for Orange Park going into the half.
High snap. They'll give it to Restall. Coming to the right side. Restall still on his feet. JoJo Restall into Oakleaf territory. And the formula would seem to be look for number 3.
You know what, Cole? Absolutely. Like I said, you get the ball into your playmaker's hands. And again, nice control, little exchange operation, but then JoJo goes to work. He's got a great stiff arm. Look at this stiff arm. Keeps the defender off. He's going to throw another one, gain a couple more yards, and he likes what he's doing out here. You're going to see him high step on the sidelines after this run. Nice run. He's putting together a really nice first game.
First and 10 from the Knights 41. Handoff, Restall up the middle. Nothing doing in the heart of the Oakleaf defense that time. Mari Thomas, big 285-pound freshman, number 99 with the stop.
That's a big freshman, I tell you what. And if you're playing,
a big senior.
That's a big senior. You're playing as a freshman at 285 pounds. You know what, Amari, we're going to be calling your name for a couple years here, for the next 4 years at Oakleaf, because this is not a slouched offensive line at Orange Park. Keep making plays, big fella.
They send Fowlin out of the backfield. Pressure coming.
He's listening to me, Cole.
He is. The freshman chasing after him.
That's all you, big fella.
And Wilkerson bounced out of bounds near the pond. And penalty marker thrown. Again, some extracurricular activity happening at the end of the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
And I don't think it was one of the Oakleaf players. I think it may have been one of the Let's see some of the talking going on the sidelines. Yeah, there is some jawing going on there. If it was 34, that's Elijah Shevchuk, Isaiah's younger brother.
Also known as Pork Chop.
No, a guy named Pork Chop doing some jawing.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go on 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. 47 seconds left before halftime. We'll see if Orange Park can get some points
Correction.
here.
After enforcement, the line to gain was not made. Therefore, it will be 3rd and short, Orange Park.
All right, there's the correction.
Okay.
And there's going to be another conversation, I believe, between the referee and one of the officials. Okay. Back into position. Here we go. So 3rd down and 2. Maybe a long 1 for OP. Through the hands of Wilkerson. Still loose. And recovered by Oakleaf at the 44-yard line.
Let's just go set up for the coach's interview. Where is he? Is he on that side?
Cole, this is a learning experience for everybody, all the young players that are still up. I know it's late, but you've been here, you've been through it. This is one of these things that as a young player, you got to understand, you got the ball slipping through your hands. Don't pick it up, just land on it. Just sit down. Keep the ball, let your team punt, let it go the other way. Now you've given a big momentum change with a couple seconds left to a team.
Well, let's see it. There was initially the signal was for Oakleaf.
But it looks like they gave it to Orange
Park.
They're going to let the clock run out.
And that's the end of the
first half.
Either way, Cole, you see a ball on the ground and you're on offense, you just cover it up. You don't want to give that ball away to anybody else.
So halftime is here with Oakleaf leading 35-14 over Orange Park in what has been a very unusual and extended first half that has included an extended weather delay as well. Let's head down to the sidelines. Donna Murphy is standing by with Oakleaf head coach Frank Garris. Donna?
Hey, Coach Garris. All right, you guys had 8 minutes to put some extra points on the board. It seems like your guys came out ready to play after that rain delay.
Yeah, they were excited when we made the announcement we're going out, and so I think as long as we keep playing fast, we're going to be okay. It's going to be abbreviated halftime. It'll be quick, so I think that'll play to our favor, and we're excited to try to finish this game out.
How does the field feel for your guys?
It's getting better and better. The more and more we keep playing, I feel like it's drying out and there's less and less issues.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, Cole.
All right, Donna, thanks so much. Halftime here at Bolles. Oakleaf 35, Orange Park 14. Short halftime in the second half, straight ahead. After an abbreviated 6-minute halftime, we're ready for the second half of our final game in the WWGA Mechanical Contractor Bolles City Showcase. Oakleaf and Orange Park, with Oakleaf leading 35-14, and Orange Park will kick it away to Oakleaf to start the second half. And the ground game was the story in the first half for Oakleaf as they piled up 305 yards. The Knights had a pair of 100-yard rushers in the first half. Devin Outlaw went for 163. And now here is the kickoff. It's short, bounces once off the helmet, and here come the Knights. And down to the deck with it goes Dylan Stubbs. Sometimes a linebacker. They play the nick position, sort of a hybrid linebacker defensive back spot for Oakleaf. And the Knights will take over 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. And you see Outlaw's numbers. He took a little respite during the first half, and Mike Brannon came on, ran 8 times for 104 yards. But Outlaw really set the tone with the first snap of the game for Oakleaf when he went 95 yards for the score.
From play one, Devin Outlaw has been playing hard, and he, like that stat line we just saw, That's a stat line guys dream of, and Devin Outlaw has done it on TV in the first game of the season.
And here he is again, running strong, takes a pop, keeps going past the 40 and up to the 41-yard line. A 10-yard gain on first down. It's been a physical game. Orange Park has not been backing down at all, but by that Oakleaf offensive line and the running backs have really gotten the job done for the Knights.
A good power running game is something fun to watch as a fan. You see some traps, you see a hard run, you see, and here Orange Park comes back and makes a nice play.
And you see that Orange Park is trying to get a little more beef on that line. They put a couple of guys who ordinarily might be found on the offensive line up front there. Rod Kearney has been out there. I also see that Malachi Anderson, I think we see in the middle of the line. Play action. And catch is made by Taylor Bradshaw. He's got a first down, middle of the field. Bradshaw, who caught the only touchdown pass of the first half for Oakleaf, moves the chains here.
Devin Outlaw rushing for 173 yards at this point. Why not use play action pass? You know, fake to him, and then boom, right back to this Mike Brannon now running, I think.
It is Brannon this time. There is a penalty marker down. Frank Garris has some options to dial up that offense.
He's got a 1-2-3 punch, because don't forget, we got Shevchuk who has played running
Holding. Offense, number 56. 10-yard penalty from spot to foul. Still first down.
They get the center, Gary and Ray, right in the middle of the line. Oakleaf, with their schedule, tough one as well. They never dodge anybody. They'll host Miami Carroll City next. Then Lake City, Columbia. Then a trip to Camden County up in Georgia. Then they'll travel to Clay before beginning district play against Sandalwood. And a handoff in the backfield. Brannon has the ball knocked out of his hands, still on the deck and recovered by Ammon, who had a fortuitous bounce as he was going down. It skipped right back into his hands. And that is a big loss on the play.
That is not the way you want to be moving the football here. This is just a great play up front, defensive, or I think it's a linebacker coming through, and Brandon's got nowhere to go, needs to secure the ball.
Jeffrey Jules DeLeese, I think, popped it out of there.
Just got to secure the ball, and then luckily Drew Ammons just land on it the first time. Don't give all of us, you know, Oakleaf fans a heart attack trying to scoop and score.
Second down and 2.5 time zones now for Oakleaf. Ammon, quick throw, incomplete as he bounced it to Armand Cooper.
Intended for Armand Cooper, incomplete. Brings up third down.
Third and, if I do my math right, 43, I think. It's a long way to go for Oakleaf here. We'll see if they decide to just run it, stay safe. Outlaw's back out there, and they will give it to him. Outlaw coming to the near side, an inside move. There he goes. Devin Outlaw plows his way out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So got a big chunk of it back, but nowhere near enough for a first down. And Outlaw edging toward 200 yards in the game. He now has 197 on 12 carries. Fourth down, and Orange Park
timeout.
Going to call timeout.
Orange Park. First timeout of half.
A CSI Company's timeout with 9:23 to play in the third quarter, and the Knights of Oakleaf leading Orange Park 35-14. We have seen some teams, a couple of teams in this 3-game series that we've been able to broadcast for you, who began the season ranked in the News 4 Jax Super 10. Number 2, Bolles, an impressive win last night over West Nassau. And now Oakleaf ranked number 9 in the first poll of the year. And they have been very impressive as well here. Both the teams with rankings have really shown up in the WWGA Old City Showcase.
You know, Cole, gives validity to the poll makers, the pollsters. The pollsters put together a good poll. Is that you?
Hats off to Justin Barney.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, you pick teams, and these teams come and they play hard. And the reality is neither West Nassau nor Orange Park, these aren't slouch teams. These are two also very good football teams. But what we're seeing is that there's levels here on the First Coast. There's good football, and then there's really good, dominant football that we've seen.
So now the first punt of the game for Oakleaf coming up. And Ammon will handle the punting duties as well. And this one bounces at the 20, takes an Oakleaf bounce, and down to the 5-yard line. It is going well for Oakleaf in every phase of the game right now, as the Knights have a 35-14 lead. It was a wild ending to the year for Oakleaf last year. They went 7-4, end of the season, a regular season, with a loss to Bartram Trail, then beat Nice and Clay, and they went to the playoffs where Nice had to forfeit their playoff game because of COVID issues. So a week off to prepare for Bartram Trail, and then Bartram beat them for the second time. So that's one of the reasons why we talked about the rivalry feelings for these players thinking about Bartram Trail over Orange Park. And JoJo Restall will get the carry for Orange Park. Pushed out of bounds as he neared the 20-yard line. Restall is approaching 100 yards on the ground in this game.
You know, it's always fun to see how rivalries develop and even change over time. You know, the Jaguars, we've had different rivalries when we were in the AFC East, Central. We were in the South now, and it's neat to see how they change depending on who the coaches are and how things move. And it looks like Oakleaf.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I've always said there are three things that can create a rivalry.
Tell me.
One is geography.
Absolutely.
You get that geographic rivalry. Number two, and it's particularly the case in college, but also can happen in the pros to a certain extent. But if there's a history, if the older players have a rivalry and the younger players come up, they sort of adopt that rivalry as it comes. As a deep ball here, down the near sideline, and it is knocked away by Oakleaf. Jadon Stokes.
Jadon Stokes out here all by himself, senior, 6'3", 200 pounds, out here on the island at cornerback. Great play. Last second, gets his hand up. Beautiful. Great throw coming out from Wilkerson. Looking to go deep, looking to make a strike. But number 24 says, nah, not on my watch. He throws up the Dikembe Mutombo finger and says, no. Didn't do that. I would have, but that's because that's what I would do at cornerback. That's probably why I didn't get to play it.
Restall hit in the backfield. Jaden Nateo with a tackle for Oakleaf. Then the third way you become a rival is if you keep losing to a team in games that really matter. And as you know, in 1999, the Jaguars lose 3 games to the Tennessee Titans, and that really sparked that rivalry. There wasn't much of a rivalry before that.
No, and then it kind of spurred on between the personalities between coaches,
yes.
Jeff Fisher, Tom Coughlin. You know, it's kind of a fun rivalry to be a part of, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and there was something on the line. It wasn't really geography, but of course the Steelers were really the Jags' first rivalry when the Jaguars came into the league in 1995. So when you have Orange Park, a school that was previously existing, and then just 10 miles away, Oakleaf comes up, and a lot of the kids who would have gone to Orange Park in the past are now in Oakleaf's district. It's an area, that Argyle area, that has really grown quite a bit. And between Argyle and Oakleaf, there has been huge explosion in terms of population. So having that proximity, that geographic proximity, has certainly gone a long way. They have not been in the same district often. Of course, Orange Park right now is a 6A school, and Oakleaf an 8A school. As Restall runs again, but you talk about who Oakleaf has in their district now, in that 8A district: Bartram Trail, Mandarin, Creekside, and Sandalwood. Of course, Bartram Trail and Creekside right down the road from one another. That's a rivalry as well. But when you're going to be playing in that 8A district with so much on the line, some of those rivalries are going to become even more heated when you play once or twice a year.
Absolutely, and you can have more than one rival. I think that's one of those crazy things that we often forget about. You can definitely have more than one rival throughout the course of a career and a season and an existence.
Who's your rival at Wake?
Oh, we were just everybody's homecoming game. I played in more homecoming games at Wake Forest than anybody.
Here's Restall up the middle. Didn't find much room. Tackle made by
led by number 21, Dejon Brown, and number 44.
Looks like Dejon Brown.
Yeah. Getting some reserves, getting some playing time here on the defense for Oakleaf right now. So 3rd down and a short 5. Snap. Quarterback wasn't ready for it. Wilkerson thought there might be a whistle. There was not. And in microcosm, that's kind of the way things have gone for Orange Park.
You know, that's one of those things that if you're the center and you snap the ball, it's play on. Like, it doesn't matter if the quarterback called for it or not. Luckily, Wilkerson was ready for the snap, but Flores snaps the ball. I think he was looks like he's a little nervous. A big 99 Amari Thomas right in front of him, the big freshman, and just forgot the snap count. You see him tapping his helmet after the play. Luckily, it didn't end up worse than it was.
Yeah, he'd get my attention. Amari Thomas, 285 pounds.
That's a big man, and he's playing well for a freshman.
So Tavion Wilkerson to punt it away for Orange Park. This one takes a Raiders bounce and will roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line with 5:34 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Oakleaf up 35-14. This has certainly not been a perfect game for Frank Garris'
My
team.
time. Water break.
And it is time for that hydration break, presented by WWG Mechanical Contractors. We'll take time out for the 3rd quarter. Still to come on Channel 4.
The WWG Mechanical Contractor Bold City Showcase is brought to you by Airstream Ventures, Covenant Roofing, and Puro Clean Emergency Services.
Oakleaf leads Orange Park 35-14 with 5:33 to play in the 3rd quarter. Let's go down to the sidelines and check in again with Donna.
Thank you so much, Cole. So Shaq Quarterman is a name that is very familiar around the city, and especially a name that is very familiar around Oakleaf. And the rookie Jaguars linebacker also mentioned earlier this summer that both his rookie season at Oakleaf, his rookie season at the U, and right here in the NFL all have something in common. And coming in as a rookie, his plan is to keep his head down, to get that starting role, but more importantly, to help his team wherever he can. Back to you, Cole.
All right, thank you, Donna. Of course, Shaq Quarterman had to operate a rookie year during the pandemic. That was a tough adjustment. And now his 2nd year, and Jaguars said goodbye to Joe Schobert, and expecting him to see some more playing time. And here is Mike Brannon running the football once again for Oakleaf. And Brannon, who has 110 yards before that run, just added to his total. And there is an Orange Park player down as you take another look at Brannon on the Bowden Eye and Associates replay monitor.
Just a little off tackle to the right. And here we go. Mike Brannon off to the races, running just power football.
30 yards on that run. 10 carries for 140 for Brannon. He and Devin Outlaw have been piling up the numbers. There is a penalty marker down, as you see.
Looked like something was going on between the cornerback and Bradshaw out there. I don't know if it was a hold.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from spot to foul. 1st down.
So from the spot of the foul, which was beyond 10 yards downfield, still will be a 1st down. And, Brannon gets credit for the run to that point. So still over 100 yards, and they are attending to the Orange Park player who is down on the field right now.
No, I just spun around.
Let's take a look at what Oakleaf has coming up on their schedule. As we mentioned, they play a very difficult schedule. And when you talk about the district games, they're starting in October with Sandalwood, Mandarin, Bartram, and Creekside. But even in the non-district play, you've got Miami, Carroll City, Lake City, Columbia, then Camden County, and Clay on the road. Joe, they will, if they get through that unscathed, they will be rising in the ranks, and they'll be a team to be reckoned with.
That whole poll that's out there, the poll will have to readjust if they can get through here unscathed. Because if you want to watch good football, follow these Oakleaf Knights. They're playing everybody good.
And as for Orange Park, here's what the Raiders have coming up.
Wow.
Matchup with Ridgeview, Tom McPherson's old place. Next time up, then they travel to Ponte Vedra to face Nice. Then Riverside, that's a tough matchup coming up on September 17th at Matanzas. They go down the coast. And then October, you start getting into teams in the district, West Nassau, Columbia, at Westside, at Inglewood, and then finish up with Clay. And because there has been reclassification this year, I want to let you know, here is who is in the Region 1, District 3 for Class 6A. And Orange Park and Westside, Riverside, Inglewood, and Lake City, Columbia. That makes Orange Park's schedule very difficult, quite frankly, for a school that has not been in that class. And you look at Oakleaf, and this is the powerhouse district in our area and maybe in the state when you talk about a perennial state finals contender, Bartram Trail, former state champions Mandarin, Oakleaf, who's always in the mix, Sandalwood has a ton of talent, and now Creekside moves up to 8A, and we saw Creekside earlier today with a win over Revolt. Joe, that does not make for an easier run for Creekside, to be sure, but all these teams, talk about some good football in our area. That is some powerhouse schools in the 8A.
You want to watch good football? Follow these two regions, these two districts. Great football going on. A lot of good teams in each of them. It's kind of like we got the SEC, but here on the First Coast.
It's the high school version of it. 5:23 remaining in the third. 35-14. Oakleaf leading Orange Park. Will take timeout as they tend to the injured player. We're back after this timeout right here on Channel 4.
The WWK Mechanical Contractor Bold City Showcase is brought to you by Airstream Ventures, Covenant Roofing, and PuroClean Emergency Services.
5:23 to play in the third quarter. 35-14 Oakleaf for the lead over Orange Park. Ryan Rakowski, the senior safety for Orange Park, is the player who's down, and they continue to tend to him. They've brought the stretcher out, as you see. Both teams kneeling right now away from the player. Let's take a look and see if we can pick it up there. On the right side is Rakowski, number 10, going for the tackle. Oof, head just bangs off the playing surface there.
Yeah, that's, as a player, Cole, that's not something you want to happen on either side of the ball. You don't want anybody to get injured. You don't want anybody to get hurt. But, you know, we have the first responders out there. We're making sure that Ryan is going to get the best care, make sure we take care of him the best way with the best personnel out there, making sure his head and neck are stable.
And we start talking about head and neck. As we mentioned, that's been an area of great improvement in terms of the way it's been handled at the high school level. See, they're going to strap him down and make sure that the head is stable and not moving around. And his teammates, some of them on the other side, just kneeling as Ryan Rakowski is wheeled off the field. You can see him, his hands went up to his face mask right after the head hit the ground, and right now he's just holding those hands in close to his body. So we will update you as best we can as they take Rakowski off to get some more medical attention.
You know, on both sides of the ball, both Orange Park and Oakleaf, they want to make sure that Ryan's okay. Everybody out here, that straps up and puts on a helmet understands the risk that we take stepping on the field, but that's not something anyone ever wants to see happen, even in a rivalry game. So, Ryan, our prayers are with you. Be strong, brother.
And back to play. Handoff goes to Brannon. A stiff arm. And pushed out at the 46-yard line. So obviously the primary concern is for Rakowski's health and well-being as it goes to impacting the game. He's a senior and one of the veteran players on this Orange Park defense. So as Brannon is tackled right at the line of scrimmage. See if that becomes an issue in the ball game. But again, very much a secondary issue now when you see a player wheeled off, as we saw Rakowski. And here comes Brannon off the sideline, to the sideline for Oakleaf. And Devin Outlaw back in there, and he'll get the ball on the carry. Outlaw able to pick up 8, bring up a 3rd down and a yard. As Outlaw goes over 200 yards rushing in the ball game.
Wow.
With that carry. Now 13 carries, 205 yards.
That's really impressive. This Orange Park defense, I mean, they came in, Tom Mcpherson had them ready to play, but this is just a great effort up front.
And
oh, my goodness.
Outlaw loses this one. It's scooped up by Orange Park, and off to the races they go. The Raiders on the run. Antoine Altius with a fumble recovery and the return deep into Knights territory.
Watch this. Same play we've been running all night long. Devin Outlaw gets the handoff and just whoop. Looks like they got a helmet on the ball. Maybe his gloves were a little bit wet. Looks like after the play he was throwing his gloves onto the ground like he was upset with them. But it's a great play by Orange Park and maybe a momentum changer.
Now with 3:59 to play in the third, we'll see if Orange Park can do something with it. Trailing 35-14. Has been an emotional roller coaster in this game, particularly for Orange Park. Wilkerson will hand it off to Restall. Restall running wide and spins down for a gain of 4 to the 26-yard line.
Great field position here for Orange Park on the turnover. Let's see if we can turn it into points. See what's going on with the Raiders. See if they can get, Restall moving, Wilkerson, maybe a pass. We've had some operational issues on both sides of the ball after the rain delay. See if we can clean things up.
2nd down and 6. Wilkerson fakes it to Restall, will take it himself. Weaving his way and taken down as he tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of activity, not much progress on that run.
No, but
Wilkerson.
Slippery moving, kind of like a bar of soap in the bathtub. Nobody could get a handle on him, and then it wasn't really even a hard tackle. Just kind of brought him down. Wilkerson showing that he is slippery, and that's why, he was the 2nd leading rusher on their team last year. Sneaky fast, sneaky slippery. I liked it.
I thought we might see him running the ball a little more often tonight, to be honest with you. But haven't seen as much of it. Here's a pitch play to Restall. Running wide. Got the edge. JoJo Restall out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Restall has gotten it done as the primary ball carrier. Now 19 carries.
I like this play. Just the old school sweep. And Restall does the rest, gets the edge, and makes a nice play. We got a little paraphernalia.
Offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Another penalty, and we've seen plenty of the yellow hankies tonight. That is the 15th penalty in this ball game with both teams combined.
As a receiver out there blocking a cornerback, that's a long time to hold. Those are long developing plays, sweet plays. That's a long time to hold the block. We've seen a lot of those flags happen in between receivers and cornerbacks tonight.
So it brings up a 3rd down and 3. And another whistle before the snap, and a timeout called by Oakleaf with 2:24 to play in the third quarter.
Oakleaf, their first of the half.
They used all 3 in the first half. This is their first here in the second half. With 2:24 to play, a CSI Company's timeout. And you get the sense that if Oakleaf can make a stop here, that might take the heart out of Orange Park. But to this point, it has been all about the ground game for Oakleaf. Let's show you our Moe's play of the game. Tonight's performance by Devin Outlaw, 95 yards. It's like the mouth-watering tacos at Moe's. You can't have just one. Now let's take another look at it. First snap of the game for Oakleaf, and Outlaw goes 95 as part of his 200-yard rushing game to open the season.
Welcome to Moe's.
And all Joe can think of is get more queso.
That's really all I have my mind on at this point. We keep showing these Moe's play of the games, and Donna did bring us some snacks from the VIP tent, which was so sweet of her. But there was no queso, so I was a little upset. But
beggars can't be choosing.
No, I'm not choosing.
There was no
there.
queso.
What? That's not what we heard up here.
Restall on the carry, going right on 3rd and 3, cuts it back. Runs into his own man, knocks Brandon Cooper down, the 250-pound senior guard, and it will be a first down for Restall. So Restall now 19 carries and over 130 yards in the ballgame.
For a game where there's so many yards rushing, it feels like we've been here with Oakleaf and Orange Park for about 4 days. Because a lot of penalties, a lot of, just long delays.
Here's Wilkerson. He loses the football. It's recovered by Oakleaf.
Nice play. We got Nassar Bailey.
Bailey with the recovery. The junior. Take another look at it.
Again, just not being secure with the ball. Wilkerson a little loosey-goosey. That's going to get Coach Mcpherson on the sidelines fired up because oh, there we go again. We had a belt. Now we got a sword.
The turnover sword for the Knights.
This is fantastic.
Of course.
I like it.
They turn over.
As a guy who does a lot of LARPing on the weekends, that would be fantastic for my LARPing.
What's your go-to outfit?
Well,
costume.
I like to go with the wizard.
Yeah, I
D'Artagnan the wizard. That's how I call myself.
Yeah.
I run through the woods, just kind of like this guy running.
Isaiah Shevchuk with the big pickup. He has a touchdown run of the ball game already.
Cole, this Oakleaf team has 3 really good running backs. I mean, Devin Outlaw, Mike Brannon, and then Shevchuk. 3 guys, interchangeable. They're almost the exact same guy. Power running, speed.
Ammon's going to throw it.
And then Ammon to be able to throw.
Ray Murray, touchdown. Made it look easy. Just like that, Oakleaf on the quick strike, stretching their lead to 41-14.
The run sets up the pass, and here we go. A little play action. Ammon pulls it down and hits good old Ray Murray in stride. He just ran a little post route inside, touchdown, Oakleaf.
Second touchdown pass by Ammon in the ball game. Ammon to Bradshaw and one to Murray.
He's put together a nice little high school fantasy day. With how many times he's kicking the ball. Here he is kicking. And some touchdown passes. Donna, I think you got a good pick.
I think you're spending too much time on your high school fantasy football league, Joe. I have to
call
maybe an intervention company.
This is why you're not leading the league like I am.
That's true. Let's take another look here at the Drew Ammon to Honore Murray touchdown. They call him Ray. Made it look easy, gliding into the end zone for the score.
It's a simple game when you do what you're supposed to. Offensive line blocked up front, gave him time. Ammon made a nice, accurate throw.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, Orange Park, number 22. 15 yards on the kickoff.
And Ray, catch and run. Simple game.
As you heard, unsportsmanlike after the extra point flagged on Orange Park. So there'll be a penalty applied for the kickoff. Has to be a little bit of frustration. We talked about how unanimous Orange Park players were in talking about this as a rivalry game. And to see you not only down 42-14, you've seen a teammate carted off. You've had a long delay from weather. This is probably pretty wet over there on the sidelines as it is. This is a tough game to be on the losing end against your rivals.
You know, anytime you're not playing really up to what you want to and your feet are wet, it just makes for things to be worse. And we know, Donna showed us pictures how wet those sidelines were. These guys, their socks are wet. It's just, you're not happy at this point. But we still have a whole quarter of football to play. Orange Park can strike fast, and they can strike quickly and really turn this game around with a few plays.
They're going to have to do it in a hurry here with 1:30 to play in the third quarter. And certainly getting it done on the kick return could be a big part of that equation. Ammon will kick it off from the Orange Park 45. He's been kicking it through the end zone or into the end zone. Probably going to take aim at the field goal uprights, and he blasts one right through. Doesn't get credit for it, but I think that was good.
You know, it's not always, I think we need to utilize more in the game of football is the drop kick there. Go ahead and score some points on that play, but no one practices it.
I recall Doug Flutie once upon a time scoring an extra point on a drop kick.
It was the last one.
Was it the last one?
Yeah, I think that was the last time we saw that in the NFL. I don't have to have our stats guys look it up. These guys are working hard over here on stats. We'll get them to do some digging.
Yeah.
You know, you can find anything on Wikipedia these days.
Just Google it.
So,
yep, it'll come up. Call it research.
Ask Siri. Throw it to Alexa. Figure it out. When's the last time the drop kick was utilized? Or a free? What is it? That's called a free kick. There. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Free kick. Yeah, you can score points if you can put it through.
Yeah.
It's got to be off the turf. Can't be off a tee.
1:30 to play in the third quarter here. 42-14. Oakleaf with the lead. Orange Park. Now Elijah Craigette in there at quarterback, number 12. We've seen him in there for 2-point conversion tries. But taking his first snap from scrimmage, and he hands it off to Mike Tuasano. The starting line is still in there for Orange Park, but a couple of the backups, Tuasano, Jojo Restall's backup, and Craigette in there as a quarterback. Wide receiver core continues to be the starter, so maybe just trying to find a way to catch a little fire here. Restall is still in the game as well. And the backs are split with Craigette in the shotgun. He'll fire in and out of the hands of Nolan Chambers and almost intercepted.
There was some heat on that ball, Cole. A little mustard on the hot dog. You know, Craigette, I mean, seriously throwing it and through the hands. Doink right off his beak, and you know that could have been 6, but instead he got a little face tattoo.
Well, I said almost intercepted. I think that's inaccurate. I don't think Jordan Nesby had any chance.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense. 15 yards from the foul. First down.
And another penalty to grace the screen here with 52 seconds to play in the third quarter. And is 17 penalties called in the game on these two teams. All right, do we have some research? Maybe? Some specious research, perhaps?
You know, we're figuring it out. We've got to do some more digging.
Okay.
Yeah, Cole.
Wikipedia is not telling you the whole story, is what you're saying,
Wikipedia is not
Joe.
telling us the whole stories.
I see. And they'll hand it off to Asano. And he picks up 4 running to the right side. As we go inside, half a minute to play in the third.
So, you know what? I think the last one was utilized in 2019 by the Carolina Panthers.
Was
Joey
it good?
Sly.
Was it
Yes,
good?
it was. No, it was not good.
So when was the last made?
Oh, the last made one?
Drop kick.
Right here, 1976, November 1st, by the ever-famous Ray Werschigd from the San Diego Chargers.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure that Flutie kicked one on a PAT.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah. All right, well,
you know, this
who could doubt
That's a
Wikipedia,
drop kick.
Joe?
We're going with free kick. This is the free kick.
Scoring on a free kick.
On a free kick, not a drop kick,
right.
which is different.
Right.
You know.
That's the end of the third quarter.
That's the end of the third quarter. 42-14, Oakleaf with the lead. Fourth and final quarter of the WWGA Mechanical Contractor Bull City Showcase is coming up next on Channel 4.
WWGay mechanical contractor Bold City Showcase is brought to you by Bowden Eye and Associates and Duval Motor Company.
The fourth quarter. We've talked about how important it is to develop depth in your young players. And we're doing that here on our crew. Yesterday, 10-year-old Cannon Thompson was manning that camera for us. Had to step in and take a few reps. It's all about building for the future, Joe.
You know, and the great thing is, Cole, we didn't stage these photos.
No.
We actually put Cannon to work. He's got the name to match his job. The Cannon, the cameraman, you know, boom, boom. It's fantastic. I love it.
And I can tell you, if you didn't know which shots were his, you wouldn't have known otherwise. He was a pro at the age of 10.
An absolute pro.
As Giovanni Fowlin runs.
Nice little run by Giovanni. And, you know, during that break, I actually got a text from Joey Wiles.
Oh, you did?
Yes, the ever-famous and popular, the infamous Joey Wiles out of St. Augustine. And he said he's been to Doug Flutie's house January 1st, 2006. Doug Flutie, the last successful drop kick in the NFL.
I was thinking just
Coach Wiles, thanks for it, babe.
Yeah, and if anybody would know, it's
Joey Wiles. I mean, the guy is amazing.
He is. Now at Flagler.
Knowledge.
Handed off to Fowlin, running wide, took one hit, and then was dragged down as he tried to come wide.
That was impressive. The balance just kind of bounced off. Remind me of a little guy that used to play here for the Jaguars that used to wear number 32.
Were you just going to pull some mojo out?
I'm going to pull a little mojo because that dude, just like old Maurice, could take a pop and just keep on rocking.
Giovanni Fowlin also has the toughness to play on the defensive line for Orange Park from time to time, despite 5'7", 185. They called Mojo Pocket Hercules. This one, a deep shot, and it is caught by Chambers, who's then spun out of bounds. Amir Green is down on the field after he made that play defensively for Oakleaf.
You know, this is a great throw for a young quarterback. You know, watch. He sits back in the pocket. Craig throws deep. Boom. Chambers, who's gotten the ball thrown his way a lot tonight, makes a really nice
see right
catch.
Away, watch Green. As soon as he came down right there, you could see the grab for that left knee.
Mm-hmm.
He knew immediately. To follow up your comment about Joey Wiles, of course, a little bit of Bold City Showcase, Bold City Championship history. The first game we did in this series was Atlantic Coast hosting Mandarin.
Okay.
And Joey joined me in the booth on the call.
Did he really?
He did indeed.
You got a thing for Joey's in the booth, don't
I'm
you?
all about Joey's.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, if we need to, at one point we'll hire a baby kangaroo. It doesn't matter, but I'm getting Joey's in
as
here.
As long as there's a Joe sitting next to you, you're a happy camper.
Yeah, a cup of coffee, doesn't matter.
You don't need green M&Ms. You need a guy named Joe sitting next to you talking about football, eating hot dogs. You know, Joey Wiles does like hot dogs.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, he is a hot dog aficionado.
He'd be at home here in the booth here as we play the final game. This is the second stoppage for an injury we've had here in the second half. I don't think either one of these would be attributable to a wet surface. Certainly not the first.
Absolutely not.
This one just looked like getting twisted coming down after making a stop, but you can see that Amir Green is in a bit of distress right now as Frank Garris is out there talking to him. Some of the Orange Park coaches over there as well.
You know, you love seeing you got two head coaches who are out there, you know, talking to the player on the ground, making sure everybody's okay. These guys don't. It's more important for them, the players that they coach become young men. They love these guys. They spend hours every week with them. You know, both Coach Garris and Mcpherson, Tom, they spend hours with these kids. They become their own children a lot.
Tom.
Oh. And it's just a lot. These coaches carry a lot on their shoulders.
And they're going to have to help Amir Green off the field. He's able to put a little bit of weight on that knee, but not too much. And a nice bit of sportsmanship there as Chambers came over. And Roderick Kearney as well, some of the other Orange Park players.
You got to love it. Although this is a rivalry, you see the brotherly love going on here on the field. Guys, you know, giving fives on the way off, saying, hey, you know, it's weird. Do you have a brother, Cole?
I do. I have two.
Yeah, and it's weird. You fight hardest against your brother. Like, the struggles, the fights in the driveway, the one-on-one games were always most wicked against my brother. But then at the end, afterwards, we'd hug, and everything was all good. And I think maybe this is the way this rivalry might be developing into.
All right, so here's Elijah Craigette on 1st and 10 from the 11. Dumps it off short.
Pass complete from Elijah Craigette.
So you were mentioning, Joe, that the LARPing, something you're all about. And we've discussed a couple of times throughout the course of the broadcast.
Yes,
there's Joe as a Jaguar, of course, ready to long snap it.
There he is.
There's your live action
D'Artagnan the Wizard.
Yeah.
You know the magical spoon and the staff. You run through the woods, and you pretend like you are who you say you are. It's live action role play. If you've never done it, come join us. We're down in Clay County every Thursday afternoons, from 3 to 5.
There's a spoon in the staff, you said.
No, it's right here. You can see it in my hand.
Oh, I see, yeah.
See the spoon down there?
I see it, yeah.
That's for the yogurt that we eat. The frozen yogurt. Afterwards, we go in full costume.
Does that have magic properties, Joe?
I have no idea.
His rookie card will be available in the next Magic the Gathering set.
The Magic the Gathering, yes, absolutely.
Encroachment. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still third down.
Cole, you give me enough hot dogs and Cheetos, and I can make up anything up here in the booth. Oh, the crunchy Cheetos, they're delicious.
You're
I had
all
about
about
7 packs of them.
Yeah, this has definitely been a big move toward health in the press box.
The rain delay is one of those things. All you folks at home, the rain delay, you could go change the channel, watch something else. We were stuck here in a booth with a box full of snacks. What do you do with a box full of snacks and a rain delay? You eat.
Craigette takes the handoff, and this one nearly intercepted, tipped at the line, and that close to an interception by Oakleaf.
That would have been something fun to watch. We'd have a 99-yard run, and then just a nice play. And did you say Karis Jacobs?
Karis Jacobs.
Karis Jacobs.
5'7" junior right there.
Right there. Was given a gift. Could have done a nice long pick six. But we get to play it over down here.
All right, here we go, 4th and 1.
No foul on the play. The ball was tipped. 4th down.
We were mentioning Joey Wiles. You said, well, why would he have been at Doug Flutie's house? Well, they grew up together.
They did. Great friends.
Yep. One of the all-time college football heroes, Doug Flutie. And they'll hand it off, running up the middle. Giovanni Fowlin has the touchdown for Orange Park with 9:02 to play in the ball game. 3rd touchdown of the game for the Raiders.
4th down, goal to go. Just hand it off to the little fella. You know, we called him the Pocket Hercules before, likened him to Mojo. And that's what he did. He just ran it in.
And that will bring on William Nicholson for the extra point with 9:02 to play. It's up and good. There were whistles at the snap, but they will have another penalty marker.
False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Both these coaches will want to wave the magic wand to get rid of some of these penalties when they go on to week 2.
It's a magic spoon.
Sorry, spoon.
It's a magic spoon.
Of course. My mistake.
There's no such thing as magic wands, but there is a magic spoon.
Well, I've certainly seen some spoons cause some food to disappear.
Absolutely. That's why they're magic.
So once again, an extra point from 5 yards back for William Nicholson. And it's right through there. So 9:02 to play in the ball game. Orange Park has cut the Oakleaf lead in half, 42-21.
You know, those kind of penalties on extra points and plays like that, you know who loves them most? Our kickers. Let's go back and take a look at this touchdown, though. I love the blocking up front. You've got a lot of younger guys playing for Oakleaf who are getting some experience, but the Orange Park Raiders still want to score. They want to keep fighting.
See the big hole opened up by Braylon Hawkins, the left guard, with a big block there, the 305-pound sophomore. And we mentioned Roderick Kearney, who's the big prospect and who's a junior, but you've got two sophomores and a junior beside him who are going to continue to play next year as well. Let's go down to the sidelines, check in with Donna Murphy.
Thanks, guys. You were talking about the old St. Augustine head coach, Joey Wiles. And actually what you don't know is before he became the St. Augustine head coach, my husband was the Yellow Jackets quarterback in 1995. And the whole team was so fed up with the former coach that they staged a walkout. And because that coach then got fired, then Joey Wiles, in came the head coach of St. Augustine. And yes, you're welcome, Yellow Jacket fans. They won all those state titles. Back to you guys.
And there you go. Joey Wiles became a legend.
Wow.
And it's all because of Donna's husband. Yeah.
Absolutely. The things you learn at 11:17 on a Saturday night watching high school football.
Donna's husband, who just retired from the military. So congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And good luck fixing the broken appliances around the house.
The to-do list will grow.
Little pooch kick. And a kneel down to the 29-yard line. And so that's where Oakleaf will begin. So again, we've got 9:01 to play. The running game has been the calling card for the night so far. Frank Garris's team has piled up the rushing numbers. They've run for 431 yards in the ball game.
Say that again, Cole.
431 rushing yards for Oakleaf.
431
By the way,
yards.
Orange Park has had a decent night on the ground, 194 yards.
That's no slouch of a night either.
No.
Oakleaf ball first and 10 on the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
We expect to see more running plays here. Just as expected, the ground game going yet again. And Armand Cooper, often a wide receiver, gets the call there on the run. And Tyson McMillan in there at quarterback as well for Oakleaf now, as Drew Ammon appears that his night is done, at least from a quarterbacking standpoint.
Armand Cooper, senior wide receiver. You know, he looks like a running back. You know, might be a little bit on the lean side for a running back for Oakleaf, but I saw the action in the backfield. Little pivot, takes the handoff, through the hole.
Certainly has the quickness.
Covers the ball with both hands, running tough for the little fella. Keep feeding him. Keep feeding him, Coach Frank. Keep feeding him.
First game of the year, an opportunity to get a lot of guys some playing time in positions that you hope you won't have to rely on them later in the season, but you never know.
In this day and age, Cole, what we talked about with the contact tracing and everything else, you never know who you're going to have from week to week.
Cooper again. First down, Oakleaf.
First and 10 on the Raiders' 38-yard line.
Behind this big Oakleaf offensive line, it seems like it doesn't matter who they put back there. They're just grinding yards out.
And there is Cooper again.
Cole, I'm watching these guys, Jordan Mitchell, Kershawn Sanders, Ray, Nordine, Armstrong. They're sustaining blocks 5-6 yards downfield. This is an impressive display of offensive line work by the Oakleaf Knights.
From the very first snap of the game, in fact. Now they'll hand it off. Kamari Davis getting his first carry of the game. Number 32.
There's a good look at that Oakleaf offensive line, a wolf pack of guys that, when we talk to them, they really love each other. There's a lot of text messages going between, in and out. We've got a couple seniors, a couple juniors, guys who get along real well and play well together. Nice, smart play by Tyson McMillan just to get down on the ground, live to fight another day.
I asked them how often do all five hang out, and they said, well, we communicate all the time via group text, which I suppose is the modern version of hanging out.
I think that's the modern way kids hang out these days.
Yeah, and I said, do we want to know what's being talked about in that? Probably not.
With offensive linemen, you never know. You don't want to know what they're talking about. Every team I played on, there was always crazy offensive line stories. Just land on the...
Fumble there, and it's recovered by Orange Park. Jumping on that one for the Raiders, Tristan Johnson.
The mandatory water break.
And now the final hydration break of the evening, a WWGA water break. We'll take the break and come back for the final 6:07 of the fourth quarter with Oakleaf leading 42-21. It's time for our Puro Clean Player of the Game, and tonight, Devin Outlaw cleaned up for Oakleaf. 13 carries, 205 yards, including the 95-yard run to start the ball game. Devin Outlaw, our Puro Clean Player of the Game. I know you were campaigning to give it to all five offensive linemen tonight.
Outlaw's going to share that award with those big five up front. It's been really impressive to watch Oakleaf run the ball.
And here is Orange Park running the football with Elijah Craigette running around the left side and picking up a first down for the Raiders.
This is a really nice chance for a junior quarterback to come in and get some extra plays against a good defense in Oakleaf. Craigette, little option outside, and there's our player of the game, Devin Outlaw.
Had a chance to rest for a while here. Didn't play much in the third quarter after...
after you run for 200 yards, though, is it really rested?
Right, good point. Recovery, maybe. This one swung out to the near side and caught. And Brandon Dalton with the reception for Orange Park. Moves the ball to the 39-yard line. A gain of 4. Again, when you get to this point in a ball game, and at this point of the evening, a lot of players getting an opportunity to play. And there are a lot of coaches who will tell you, if you want to rely on a guy late in the year, play him early in the year.
Absolutely. You got guys that are, first-year players, second-year players, guys that are playing different positions. We're struggling to keep up here in the booth because you've got offensive players playing defense and defensive players offense just to get them reps on the field. But on both sides of the balls, kids are going out, and they're playing hard.
Some guys who aren't on the roster getting into the ball game as well.
We've got numbers that we don't even know who's out there. And so if that's you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'd like to say who number 80 is. We don't have that.
We just don't know.
So 3rd and 5 with 4.5 to play in the ball game.
Oh, boy.
Orange Park with
William Wilson at quarterback.
Yep.
Number 8.
So the third quarterback in there for the Raiders.
Wearing that iconic number here in Jacksonville as a quarterback.
If you're going to wear number 8, play quarterback, you better make some plays in Jacksonville.
Better make some plays. Better have some feet. Absolutely.
William Wilson, of course, is the other number we're talking about, Mark Brunell, now the quarterback's coach for the Detroit Lions. Wilson's going to do his best, Brunell, here on a scramble, and did not get the first down. Mark spent some time with us at Channel 4 and also coaching at Episcopal before getting his call to join his former New Orleans Saints teammate, Dan Campbell, as the head coach in Detroit. We've got a zebra down.
Never liked to have zebras on the ground. You know, one thing about Brunell, though, is he didn't want his number called to run. He only ran when he had to. You know, when he scrambles, he was an amazing guy who could extend plays and had great feet and made some wonderful plays for us here in Jacksonville. But he didn't want his number called. He did not want to hear quarterback draw.
Don't want to get hit?
No. He was too smart for that. But when he had to run, better watch out.
I was just watching. They had replayed the 1996 AFC playoff game in Denver the other night.
That was one of those days.
Oh, yeah. The iconic run by Brunell.
Again, not called.
No,
Scramble
not play.
Scramble.
And a little-known fact, that became a football card. There was a card of that. It's Mark's favorite card.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what to get him for Christmas this year.
So here's Oakleaf now with the ball after it went over on downs. Tyson McMillan in at quarterback. And gives it to Armand Cooper. As Oakleaf approaches the 500-yard mark on the ground in this ball game. 479 right now.
On the ground?
On the ground alone.
Holy cow.
595 total yards for Oakleaf. And here goes Armand Cooper again. Slung down to the ground.
You know, Armand Cooper is not very big back there. 5'8", 155, probably dripping wet. You know, back in high school, you add a couple pounds, a couple inches to your measurements. But he is running hard.
Here comes the blitz. McMillan has to eat it and taken down on a sack. Mika Tuasano. Again,
Mike Tuasano, he's been running the ball on offense. Here he is on defense.
Orange Park. Second tower timeout.
Making plays.
2:29 to play, and another CSI Company's timeout. And Tom Mcpherson saying something about that's why I called timeout. 42-21 the score, and we'll see what kind of conversations there are out there.
You know, I kept the whole game I've been wondering, you know, Tom Mcpherson and the entire staff, they keep reminding me of something. They just I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't place it. I wanted to say the Cleveland Browns. I wanted to say, you know, looks this way. No. The Orange Crush. It just dawned on me. I saw the pirate, the Raider on the hat. It was like, oh, the good old Orange Crush, Tampa Bay.
All right.
I'm seeing it. Just, you know, looks that the staff, not necessarily the players, the staff.
Yeah, with the color combinations.
The color combinations. Yeah. You know, that tan and that orange.
Yeah, they say swords up.
Swords up.
At Orange Park. Coming up after the ball game, News 4 Jacks at 11. We'll immediately follow the conclusion of the game. So stick around to get the very latest on Hurricane Ida from the Weather Authority, as well as all the local and national news you need. And as always, you can find news on news4jacks.com. McMillan remains in there at quarterback for Oakleaf. And he will hand it off to Armand Cooper. And Cooper able to gain a couple, running off the left side. Gets past the original line of scrimmage. And the clock runs down toward 2 minutes.
You know, Cole, one of the unsung heroes of this game, one of these guys, other than the offensive line for Oakleaf, who I've really enjoyed watching to play here, has been Justin Day, number 88. He's kind of like a lead blocker, kind of like a hybrid fullback here at this tight end spot. He's pulling, he's running, he's making nice plays downfield.
He led Cooper right to the hole there. Another first down run.
Both Justin Day and then Chef Shook, he was doing the exact same thing earlier for Devin Outlaw. That's a neat little position in this Oakleaf offense. Who's probably a guy who's going to make a lot of blocks, but not get a lot of recognition. So let's give him a little love right now.
With that run, Oakleaf has now gone over 500 yards rushing as a team in this ball game. And now Kamari Davis will run right up the gut. This has been an impressive ground game by Oakleaf. That is the story of the night, how Oakleaf has been able to run the football.
It really is. And this, you know, Oakleaf offensive line, hats off to you, brother. I mean, you guys have laid down some pavement for these kids. to run behind. Outlaw, Shevchuk, Brannon, I mean, Kamari Davis, you name it. Cole, I could probably get back there and run and get like 10 yards behind this offensive line. I mean, literally, give this Oakleaf offense some mud flaps, a bull bar, and they are trucking all night long.
And now a kneel down. And that may be close to the final snap, might be the final snap of the ball game. And it will be, as the play clock is at 35, the game clock at 30, and that will be it. And that will be the final snap of the WWGA Mechanical Contractor Bolles City Showcase. Oakleaf, a 42-21 win over Orange Park to wrap things up for our third game in 2 days. And this Clay County rivalry game goes to the Knights for the 6th straight year. 42-21. See Tom Mcpherson urging his team to get wrapped up. It's been a long night with extended weather delays, a couple of injury delays as well. Mcpherson and Frank Garris meet at midfield and congratulate one another, and the teams will do the same. The Knights victorious over Orange Park here tonight. Joe, it's an impressive performance when you see 512 rushing yards out of a team in one game.
Impressive. Cole, I wish I had a thesaurus because I'd give you more adjectives because that was outstanding. What a way to cap off the Bolles City Showcase by showcasing what a real live ground game looks like here on the First Coast. 500-plus yards of rushing. What a game.
And we've talked about how this could be the year of the running back in our area. In all three of our games, we had an outstanding rushing performance by either individuals or teams. Cade Frew in the first game for Bolles, and then Preston Strope, and now for Oakleaf. Let's hear from the victorious coach, Frank Garris, who's standing by on our Baker Sporting Goods postgame report with Donna Murphy.
Thank you so much, Cole. All right, Coach Garris, you kicked off at 7:08. 4.5 hours later, you guys get the victory.
Yeah,
Talk about the Hoff-Hart game.
11:35, it's awesome. I think we played really well. We still making too many mistakes as far as ball security and making sure that we can finish the game playing clean. But it's always a great victory whenever we can beat Orange Park. You know, go 1-0 on the season, 1-0 in the county. It's a big deal for us. So from that standpoint, we're excited about it. But we've got plenty of put on film now that we can fix going into Carroll City next week, which is going to be a really difficult opponent. So we're happy, we're excited. I know I don't sound it. It's just been a long day, but we're really excited about where this is going.
Well, your running game was stellar. Talk about your offensive line.
That was definitely an area of focus for us in the offseason. We knew we had the bodies, but just the mentality is something we wanted to change, and I think Coach Howard and Coach Avery did an unbelievable job as far as molding those guys, and then Coach Scott in the weight room. Those guys got after it, and they dominated the game for us today. They absolutely dominated. So from that standpoint, we're really, really excited with their performance and where the season's going to go. And then obviously the backs ran incredibly hard with Devin Outlaw, Isaiah Shevchuk, and Michael Brandon. We call him Mike. All three of them ran really hard, so we were really excited about that.
Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you, Cole.
All right, Donna, thanks so much. It was an impressive performance on the ground from Oakleaf, and what a finish to the WWGA Bolles City Showcase. For Joe Zelenka, for Donna Murphy, and for our entire Gemstone Media crew, Cole Pepper saying thanks for watching and staying with us all night. News 4 Jackson 11 is coming up next. Thanks for watching the WWGA Mechanical Contractor Bolles City Showcase right here on Channel 4.